fuckers, welcome to the podcast. How's that? Is that casual
I
enough?
don't know about that.
This is the edgy show.
Is that too?
We're
Is that,
edgy. We all have our hoods up.
I hope we bleep that.
yeah, that's a good idea. I'll bleep that out. Hey, everybody, thank you for listening. This is 4Player Podcast, episode 449.
You're doing a voice. What's up with that?
I don't know.
449.
It's just I'm in one of those moods. I feel like doing a voice. What are we doing? My name is Nick Henderson. Brad Simons is with me.
I'm Brad Simons. Hello.
I couldn't tell if you were yawning.
That's a really
or...
good Brad Simons impression.
Nolan Hedstrom,
How's it going, everybody?
who didn't do a voice.
Yeah, if you did a voice, we
son
could
of
have
a
kept this
bitch.
going.
How do you know this hasn't been me doing a voice all along?
How do you normally
He's
know?
just an excellent.
boy.
And Christopher Guthridge,
Hello.
affectionately known as Crispy. No?
Only by
so
us,
they told
though.
me.
Like, that was a real...
No,
I was real upset when Crispy told me that we were the only one who called him Crispy.
I don't think it...
I thought this was like a name that goes back to like high school or something.
there are a few other people. No, I had a different nickname in high
Ooh,
school.
what was that?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Was it Large Cockman?
Asshat.
Large?
No. In high school and college, everyone just called me Guff, which was just a
Guff?
abbreviated of my last
That's a
name.
little douchey.
Yeah, you know.
I think I prefer...
It literally
Large
was,
cock man.
It literally was a nickname of convenience because it just was like a shortening of
Guff.
my name.
Why were they addressing you by your last name in the first place? Did you hang out with cops or something?
I did hang out
Did
with
you have
cops.
too
I was
many-
in the military when I was in high school. Everyone goes
Did
by
you
their
know
last
too
name.
many Christophers or Chris's? Or
No, well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's always a bunch of Chris's. Like in the 80s, everyone was like, man, Chris is a really good boy's name.
What about K-Dog?
So everyone just, K-Dog.
I knew a Clint
That-
with a K,
that takes me
and
back.
he wanted to
really?
be called
No.
K-Dog.
No. The worst is like Christophers that go by Topher. Like that is a line I will never cross.
apparently,
Topher.
Reborn Revolution's name in high school was Gonads.
Go next.
I'm sorry.
Really?
That's
You know what they say? You,
You
are
know.
what you eat.
Oh.
Go next.
They don't say what you're called. You're called what you eat.
yeah. They said you are like not. You're not. Way to fuck it up, Brad.
And you are
And actually-
you're called what you are.
That's a misquote. The original quote is, "Tell me what a man eats, and I will tell you what he is." It was
An
more of like
asshole.
it was more of like this classist thing, you know, like if he eats porridge, he's a worker. If
So
he eats-
y'all all know Bernadette as Bernadette, but that's not what she grew up as.
Bernie.
No,
Bernie burn.
nope,
Debt?
nope. I don't think you're gonna get it.
Bet. I
No,
don't.
Joy.
It's closer.
Wait. What did you say, Crispy?
Joy.
Wait, is it that thing that you always call her? What is that? I forget.
Bernie butt.
That's it.
No. B? They just called her B?
A little more.
B Joy.
B
No.
Diddy.
BJ.
Yep.
BJ.
I forgot. There we go. Yeah, I actually knew that. I
So
just
her. So if like come September when y'all are seeing her family, they're all gonna be calling her BJ.
See,
BJ.
my brother's a BJ, or my dad calls my brother BJ.
Does he not
But-
know?
No, he does. well, my dad doesn't call him that either. Everyone just calls him Beej.
Does
A
he
lot of
ever-
her family calls her Beach too. They either call her Beach. Her mom calls her Beach.
That sounds like a euphemism for vagina.
Well, that's more of a
Beach.
beach.
just went,
Of-
got my
like-
bead
like
waxed.
like a minge or like a beaver or something.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Okay. I see it now.
Don't ever tell her we had this conversation.
Well, that's more of a beeve.
Oh God.
I've never been anything but Brad.
Sorry, Brad.
Do you know when I'm on the phone?
Brad's classic.
And then when like somebody asks me my name and I just say Brad,
They're like, Brad
like
what?
off the like Brian or Brett, they can't
Yeah.
process it. So when I'm on the phone now, I really like emphasize and I say Brad. I say like Brad.
Brad.
I say it weird.
Do you remember bod? Like that body spray
Yeah,
or whatever. Do you remember
bod.
those commercials?
Bod
like
man.
hot bod. Like, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was what made me think of that. Like,
Those are sexy.
no, yeah.
Bod.
No, I can't tell people my name on the phone. Cause I'm like, yeah, Nolan, and they're like, no one. Then who is? And like they get like so many people hear no one.
All right, we
And,
all
like,
have problems on the phone then, because every time I pick up the phone and I say this is Nick, every single person says, "What was your name again?"
Rick.
And
Dick?
I never have to like enunciate or
Nick.
say it differently. I just say
Dick.
Nick,
You
and
should
they're like,
just say
"Okay,
Nicholas.
Nick.
So
Nicholas.
I just tell people my name's Tony.
Yeah, I feel like
No one
your-
ever misinterprets Tony.
You two, your problems would be solved if you just went by your full name. If you're like, my name is Bradley.
But his name isn't Bradley.
Is it really?
Not Bradley.
Your
It's
birth certificate says Brad.
I can
Bradford.
show you my birth
That
certificate.
is so weird. Why do people do that? Why do people do that?
Why would your parents do that to
And
you?
it sucks too because my whole life people always be like Bradley. Nah.
Anyone ever called you Bradford?
It's like your parents can't even
I
get
wish.
stern with you. They can't like go Bradley Simons.
I was a good kid.
That's
so
how they
I
got
never-
started with him. They called him
I was
Simmons.
trying to do an accent there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna Broadly Simmons.
Bradard.
Bra.
That'd be cool.
Broad Simmons.
It's broad. With 3 H's.
What are we even talking about?
I don't know.
I think we're just trying to. We don't want to talk about video games, do we?
Not
I do.
really.
Bradley.
I don't even want to play video games. I mean, I've been in a mood. I've been in one of those goddamn moods.
You're in a funk.
I'm in a fucking funk.
Ooh, a fucking funk. Is that
Like
good or
I have
bad?
not touched Fire Emblem in weeks.
Dude, me neither.
Maybe
Well, I
it's-
think that's
maybe
more of
the
a
right game
Fire
just hasn't
Emblem.
come around.
Yeah.
But it's not the same for you. I really like Fire Emblem.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm saying...
I don't know if I really like Fire Emblem because I haven't played any of it.
What I'm saying-
That's offensive.
It's like if you said I have not touched Dark Souls in weeks. You see what I mean now?
No.
I'm saying it's not the same. Like, I have also not read a comic book in weeks. It's not the same thing.
I have.
I don't understand.
I've read a comic book in the past
None of this is computing.
few whiles.
Typically, I'd really want to play Fire Emblem,
No,
but
I
for some
got it.
reason, I'm not playing it. I don't know why.
So just FYI, before we
everything okay?
before we talk about some games, I just want everybody to know we did watch a little Daredevil. Well, some of us have finished Daredevil. We did record a dinner time, or sorry, a
You finished it too, Nolan?
popcorn cast.
I haven't finished.
We recorded a popcorn cast for the first 5 episodes, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have a discussion about the season as a whole
Mm-hmm.
with some of you folks after y'all finish it. I know.
Hey,
no
I
one's-
still want to have a spoiler cast for Witness.
dude, fuck that game.
I finished
Wait.
the first season of Broadchurch.
What the
Oh, yeah?
fuck?
But you didn't even finish
Did you
the
like
first
it?
season of Daredevil.
It's pretty good, right?
It's pretty good.
Didn't it win like a BAFTA or some shit?
I don't know, probably.
Real quick,
what-
before I move off
yeah.
of Daredevil, I just want to say I did make that popcorn cast available to patrons via the newsletter, but I'll be posting it for the public probably tomorrow. So if you're hearing this on Thursday or whatever or after, it's already available. So go check that out.
There you go.
But I would love to record another popcorn cast where we talk about the season as a whole.
Obviously, that popcorn cast is spoilery. They all
Yes. Yes. They're all spoilery.
are. We should just start calling it spoiled popcorn.
Popcorn doesn't go bad.
can.
I beg to differ.
Especially after you pop
It
it.
never goes bad because it always gets eaten because everyone loves popcorn.
Why don't you eat a bag of that stuff over there? Because that went bad.
What is it?
It's a bag of popcorn that he shit in.
Puffed
Oh,
corn.
God.
That's not even popcorn.
That's different.
Whatever.
All right.
That's
Anyway,
so
how about we talk
different.
about a video game or two?
Dude, Chris Davis
Do-
doesn't know
do
what
we
he's
wanna
talking
just
about.
I've been-
We have
no,
all been playing one game.
No, I've been playing multiple games.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying.
Well, let's not start with that one. Let's ease into
Actually,
that.
I was
let's,
playing-
Let's crescendo to that.
I was playing 2 games this week, but I didn't list one of them because I didn't think it was like really.
Was it
that-
Rocket League?
It wasn't. It was,
Was it
a
Destiny?
new game. No, it wasn't.
Was it The Division?
No,
Then I'm out of ideas.
it was Broforce. I played a bunch of Broforce.
Well, there you go.
I
That's a
heard
good
the
game.
PS4 version is kind of messed up.
I don't know. I guess
Seems fun to me.
it just it's still. I don't know how
Maybe they patched it.
messed up it could be.
That game came out a while ago.
It's been out.
It's
Are you,
pretty
are
It's
you
been in,
playing
like,
it on?
years. I'm playing on PS4. I
Okay.
have it on both. But they finally just did the PS4 launch. A little
You
while
unlock
ago.
Bet Bro or
Is Bat Bro in
the
it?
broker? I don't know.
I don't think he is.
That's the
That would
whole
be so
shtick,
cool.
right?
That seems like a real missed opportunity if he's
I keep
not.
forgetting how many
Well, they
characters
might not
are
have,
in
they
the game.
Might not have gotten the ability.
Bro
to
and
use
Etta
them.
and
Dude, I think my
Assassin's
favorite
Bro.
my favorite character is the Judge Dredd one.
Yes.
Judge Bread.
Judge Broad.
Bread.
Yeah.
Judge I don't know.
Judge Bread.
Yeah. Well, him and RoboCop
Judge Joe Bro.
are.
RoboCop's weapon's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how you can like charge it up and just pop into a room and like kill everybody.
Yeah, and it
It's,
kills, yeah
Is
it's
the
good.
Punisher in it?
No, but
He should be.
Anyway,
I mean, there's
Sorry,
a lot of
I'm
guys
sorry.
with guns.
I'm sorry.
I've been
I'll
playing-
save that for
I've been
later.
playing Matilda's house.
Matilda's Castilla.
So this is our subscriber of the month game,
Yes,
whose name it still escapes me. What is it?
Maldita Castilla.
Castille.
Maldita Castilla.
I want to see
Slow,
some.
bro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Anyway, so it is a Ghosts and Goblins like game.
That's right.
By the way, this is our subscribers month
Subscriber
is Prince of the Universe.
That is correct.
Who chose this
And he
game?
did choose it, and
I would have played this on Sunday when I was having my little Sunday fun day all day, but I can't broadcast PC games, so
Well, there you go. It's free, so anybody can play it.
that is true.
It's free download.
But aren't free games not
Bad
worth
games?
our time? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Don't tell me this is my footage doing this. Yes. All right, everything seems to be good now.
No!
Son of a bitch.
You probably didn't need to record this at a very high
Strike the
bit rate.
footage.
No, like last time, what I ended up doing was I just captured it normally, and then I rendered it in Premiere to lower the bitrate, and that's what I should have done this time. I recorded this at a smaller bit. God, fucking damn it!
Oh, we'll get it fixed for the
it's like an
YouTube
8-bit.
video. Anyways, whatever.
Right?
But-
No, this is actually it pauses every once in a while in the game. That's how it does.
Matilda Castilla.
More of like a turn-based strategy.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten how to say the name.
Maldita Castilla.
Maldita Castilla.
So it's like Ghosts and Goblins. You kind of run around, you get upgrades. Like, oh, this is so frustrating.
Just don't watch your own footage.
I know.
Don't watch your own footage.
So yeah, it's side scrolling, and it's very punishing though, just similar to Ghosts and Goblins. Not as punishing as Ghosts and Goblins.
Punishing as in, like, it's hard, or it's
Yes.
punishing as in you have to do a lot of shit over again if you die?
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
'cause it
So there are checkpoints in the levels, and if you get past, like, this essentially every like area is one long screen, like a Super Mario level.
Yeah.
And once you get to the end of it, that's still not the entire level, but you don't ever have to go back.
Ever. Okay.
Correct.
Ever.
But the problem is, if you lose your 3 hearts, you lose a life, and that also means you lose whatever power-ups you had. You end up starting with nothing. So it can be challenging, like if you're on a boss, and he has only like 1 hit left, and then you get hit and you die, then you have to fight that boss without your power-ups.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that just gets super punishing, and that happens to me in this footage. That I was.
That's like classic Castlevania.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm one hit away from killing the boss, but I mean the boss has like iframes after you hit it, and then my last attack I put out like half a second early, and so it doesn't hit him, and then he hits me, and then I have to redo the boss fight again. But when you're watching this footage, this beautiful, beautiful footage,
Just don't watch it, Nolan. Just don't watch it, Nolan.
Can you control your jump?
a little, not enough in my opinion. It's a little floaty.
Because I mean, like that's classic Ghosts and Goblins where you jump, like you jump and you can't really. Affect
Yeah, no,
your-
yeah. Once you jump, you're kind of that's what you're doing now.
What's the conceit or the concept of the game? Like who are you playing as?
It's like
What's-
Ghosts and Goblins but turn-based.
Yeah, well, yeah. So no, so
But there's nothing
a
about
king, a king has asked you to rescue a princess, maybe. There's a little
That
bit of
sounds
dialogue.
right.
There's a little bit of dialogue at the beginning of the game, and he sends out these 4 warriors. I don't know if you ever get to play as any of the other warriors. I haven't gotten that far in the game. There's one point later on that you and the other warriors are riding on a carriage, and the entire like kind of level takes place on that moving
that's
carriage with like harpies coming in and attacking you.
Ooh.
But so the first time I played this, I did horrible. I did very badly. I didn't even get past the first like area without dying and going through like all my game overs. Like the thing is, when you get a game over, when you lose your 3 lives, you start at the new area again. You have 3 continues. Once those are done, you can keep playing, but your score gets wiped.
Oh fuck the score.
Well, yeah, I don't really care. The whole thing, there also is like a speed run. There's constantly a timer going. I guess, I don't know if people want to pay this competitively. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, you lose your score, and then eventually, if you die enough, which I did the first time I played this, God damn it. Okay.
Man,
No, look,
I know
someone's
it's
saying
really
I sound
hard to
echoey. No,
look
they're
away.
saying I sound echoey, and I really hope there's not a sound issue too.
but Big Bass said nah.
Okay, I trust you, Big Bass. And so, yeah, eventually it gave me like a little pop up once I used to continue. It's like, oh, this will like use up your soul. Like I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know if it actually meant anything by that. Like nothing seemed to happen post that. I don't know if maybe it affects the end of the game. I don't know, but I defeated the first boss no problem. But it's this weird, like, how chests work and stuff. Like, sometimes they'll give you health, and sometimes they give you items. But it seems like they only ever give you items when you have items, and they only give you health when you have full health. I don't know if it's, like, rigged to be that way, but that's what it seems like.
If you've ever played Ghosts and Goblins, a game that came out fairly recently that's really similar to this in terms of how like power-ups and taking hits work. Did you ever play the one where you're the dude who can throw the spear?
This is from PS2. Maximo?
No,
Vlad, or what's it called?
No, yeah, Vlad.
Vlad the Impaler?
No.
Vlad.
Volgar.
Volgar
the Viking.
Viking.
It's very much like that, where
I knew it was one of those.
Like every time you take damage, you get dramatically less powerful. So like
it's in your
shit
best
can go
interest
real
to be
bad if
perfect.
you get hit. No, Volgar. Sorry,
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Vlad the Viking.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, watch this bullshit right here. These Donkey Kong barrels come rolling at me, and I thought I could destroy it, but I really should have hopped over it because I get hit.
Is Nolan's mic off, like muted?
No.
No, when I
Everyone
talk
says he's
into
fine.
it,
They're saying it sounds like your audio is coming through someone else's microphone.
Ooh, that's possible. I mean, he's had problems with his mic.
What if I talk like this? Can y'all hear me like this?
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute your mic.
It does look like it's
you can
coming
try to
through.
fix it, Nolan.
It seems like
Crispy, Nick, Vamp.
Ah!
So
Fix what?
I've got something TV show related that's not video game related at all for Vamping. I've been watching that Hulu series 11/22/63,
All right, we're talking about this game again.
and it sucks.
All right, good
Wait, really?
side
No,
conversation.
it's really cool.
So is it? You said at first you were struggling. Is it?
Yeah, well,
easier
no,
now? Is that a timer?
No,
Yeah,
so
he just said it's a timer.
Yeah, there's a yes. So sorry, every level does have a timer, similar to like a Mario game. But there will be I've never run out of time. There will be pickups in the level that will extend the time. It like resets the timer. I think you have 99 seconds every level. But honestly, there's no reason to take your time. Like, there's never been like in Mario games. Sometimes you're looking for secrets. This game doesn't really have a whole lot of that. So it's just kill the enemies and then keep going.
So it's like the what I've never played Ghosts and Goblins.
Okay.
So like what's the draw? Is it just that it's supposed to be challenging? Is it like
I mean,
it's only
it's a side-scrolling, adventure game. I don't know. It's
a throwback.
Yeah, it's a throwback.
Why do
to
people
old-
play
You're
Ghosts and
not-
Goblins?
Why do
Looking
people play
for adventure.
Why do people play Super Mario Brothers, Nick?
because they're fucking stupid.
Because
I'm just
they
kidding.
literally had nothing better to do.
It's like Castlevania or Ninja Gaiden. Like
Yeah.
it's an action game.
Yep.
you beat them so that you can be a real dickhole about it to other people who have.
Exactly.
Sleeping at Night's an RPG.
So
Okay.
so yeah. So I mean, to
Anybody
that
could love
regard, yeah, that's the only reason to play it. But I mean, it's
seems
still
fun.
It's still fun. The first time I played it, it's just getting used to the controls, understanding how different weapons work, and stuff like that. And then, like I said, the first time I died horribly, a lot. And then this time, just to record some footage, as you can see, I haven't even gotten like a game. At this point, I probably already had like 3 game overs. The first time I played this. Just because every enemy's a unique thing, and then when you go back and refight them, it's much easier the second time around.
That thing is horrifying.
It is. It's pretty bad. You can only hit it in the head.
It's such a strange choice that he chose this game. I wonder if he just really likes Ghosts and Goblins, or he really likes this
Maybe
game.
he just wanted to see us suffer.
He does like Ghosts and Goblins. This wasn't the only game he chose. This was just the easiest one. The other one was like a Sonic clone.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Sonic person. And the other one
I don't think
Was
any of
the
us
bird-
was
game.
the Harvey Birdman. Was
Phoenix
the Phoenix
Wright.
Wright clone, but with birds. And Brad was saying that, and what I was reading, it's a lot of text.
Yeah, maybe not so feed friendly.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of reading.
This seems fun to watch. Did this game come out recently, or is it old? Or
I think within the last few years.
yeah,
I don't know. I can look it up, but
they did
yeah.
make a Harvey Birdman game.
Yeah, on PS2.
Yeah, that's exactly like
Did you ever
Phoenix
play
Wright.
it?
Yeah, I played it.
Was it good? I was wondering about it.
It's okay. I mean, it's not a good It's funny. It's pretty funny.
Fucking love Harvey.
If you like Harvey Birdman, you should.
As long
play
as it's funny, I don't think
it.
anything else
Have you ever played
matters.
Phoenix Wright? It's
no, actually I haven't. I mean, I understand the concept of Phoenix Wright. I just never actually played one.
Well, you should play. Just
I'm in
play
the
it.
same boat
Play
as
Phoenix
Crispy on
Wright.
that one.
Just forget about Harvey Birdman.
No, play both.
Play both.
Like
With
one
all
of the
this time I seem to have.
one of the ways Harvey Birdman is kind of amusing is just because just how much of a Phoenix Wright clone it is.
It looks like this game came out late 2012,
That was like 20
years.
years ago. Or something.
2012?
Yeah.
Oh,
Feels
okay.
so long ago.
Sure. So yeah, and this is the level of summit though. The entire thing takes place on this cart, and you're having to like attack harpies. And the thing is, this weapon's actually really good for attacking harpies because if you miss,
What is it?
comes-
You're throwing something. I can't.
It's kind of almost like a boomerang.
It's like the cross from.
Exactly. It comes back. So if
Castlevania.
I miss them, which happens often because they're coming in at weird angles and stuff, I can always just, hopefully get him back on the return. And this is the boss that, with one hit left, I die. And so I have to redo this level with the starting weapon, which is just like a dagger that goes in a straight line. Now, pro is the dagger goes all the way until it leaves the screen. This doesn't. But this one can possibly, once again, hit an enemy if it misses them on the return. So I don't know. I mean, I've definitely enjoyed the game. It is
Why is
difficult. And on the next area, the reason I stopped recording footage wasn't because I was like, I have enough. It was because I was like, I'm fucking done.
You couldn't
Like,
take all of this freezing.
Exactly.
Why is this man with this axe not helping you?
And he does. If the enemy gets right in front of him, he'll hit them.
He has an axe.
And he actually attacks the boss a few times.
Nice.
So yeah, I think these are. I don't know if you can play as these other ones or if it's just this guy. I've only played the first like 4 levels of this game, and it's much longer. But yeah, what was I gonna say? But yeah, the next area, it's a lot of platforming. It's a lot of moving platforming and falling, and there are like windmills in the background, and the windmill props can hit you, and it gets really.
I'm
frustrating.
gonna operate under the assumption that he picked this game because he wanted to see us struggle.
I'm not necessarily. Like I said, I've still been enjoying what I played
I
of
mean,
it.
it's definitely not as hard as classic Ghosts and Goblins because
Yeah, no, it's
it would still be
definitely-
on the first level.
Yeah, no, well, once again, the first time I played this, it definitely took me a long time to get through it. The second time around,
I wonder if this
step by step,
I wonder if
day
this
by
game
day,
does
things
the
have been going much easier.
I wonder if this game does the really asshole thing that Ghosts and Goblins did back in the day. And that's once you beat the game, to get the ending, you have to beat it again.
Oh wow, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like the biggest fuck you.
That's
of any
horseshit. And that's
classic game.
before. Was that before YouTube was a thing? How long ago did Ghosts and Goblins come out?
What?
Yeah, way
the
back.
80s.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, like a
Before the internet was
like
the
way
internet.
back.
Yeah.
In the old
Yeah, it
days.
sucked.
Look at this. He had one
I
health
saw
limit.
that.
I got knocked off the cart.
Rip.
Yeah. And you have to redo that.
Every time someone says Ghosts and Goblins, my first reaction is to
Goblins
think of
and
Maximo. Is that the same game that always gets compared to Ghosts
Grabbed
and
by the
Goblins?
ghouls.
Grabbed by the
No, Maximo is the same.
Yeah.
The same series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a spirit. It's the BioShock of.
Oh, makes sense
Ghosts and
now. All right.
Goblins System Shock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3D Ghosts and Goblins, Golden Ghosts.
Yeah, every time someone says Ghosts and Goblins, my brain immediately goes to Maximo.
Well, that's Maldita Castilla.
I'm never gonna remember that name. I'm always gonna call
That's
it
fine. It's
Matilda Castilla.
It's definitely fun, definitely difficult.
Castia.
Once again, it's a free game. It's worth checking out. It's worth the time.
Are you gonna play more of this or?
I might play it one more time. The problem is, it's not a modern game. So if I play this again, I got to start from the very beginning.
What?
No.
I thought you said
Save states?
you have to start from the beginning.
If you die, you can keep going. But if you close the game, you got to start.
Oh
from the
my
beginning.
God.
There's no like.
It's like
You should have
Castlevania
opened with
1.
that fact.
It's same thing with Ghosts and Goblins.
Flush it.
Oh God.
This is
Done.
not an easy game.
What is that awful taste in my mouth?
Ugh.
Semen. But once again, if you die, you can just keep going. So I mean,
It's like classic Castlevania.
yeah. So
Or
hopefully,
the original Castlevania.
hopefully you beat it in one sitting.
Hopefully. Good lord.
I usually switch rooms, different scenery.
Well, before we talk about the one game that we've all been playing, is there anything else small we want to get out there?
I want to talk about one other game that I want to talk about more next week.
Okay.
I didn't capture any footage, but I'm definitely going to play more between now and then.
Okay.
And that's Senran Kagura Estival Versus.
Oh, good lord.
We talked about that for like 30 minutes last
Not
week.
long enough.
Seriously.
Things got crazy on my stream this week.
They got crazy.
There was a panty eating contest.
What?
Wait, what?
Yep. There was a
What is a fucking panty?
there was a
eating
boob grabbing contest. There was a butt splitting contest.
Wait. Like who can
Split the
hold
best
their
butt?
butt open wider?
That's the game. That's what I was playing.
There was a gaping hole contest.
Are you like trying to spread somebody else's butt cheeks, or is it like your own?
So when those contests begin, it's just
I
fighting.
don't know.
It's during the cutscenes.
It's just fighting, and by the end of it, somehow we're spreading
It's
each
just
other's
during
butts.
the cutscenes that shit happens.
Butt
But
spreading.
I played for 4 hours, 3.5 hours. About half of that time was me customizing the fighters because it's so much fucking fun. And I'll bring some. That's what I'll bring next. He muted it.
Oh.
He muted it.
Okay, I
I'll
didn't
bring
think-
some footage next week. But I mean, Liar knows what's up. What's up?
Did you buy this game or?
It's a review copy that I got from Xseed.
Okay.
And I'm going to write something up.
Okay.
I'm going to write
Also,
up
they
my
don't
opinions.
take back copies of this game. Just for some reason.
'Cause they're all
Senran
sticky.
Kaguras, they don't take them back.
But no, and if any of you watch me playing Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus,
This sounds like a porno. It's kind of like, they started
There's
out
no
fighting.
nudity.
I know, but they started out fighting, and by the end of it, they're splitting butts. Like,
That's still
Dang,
like wouldn't it be spreading butts? Like our butts already
Splitting.
split.
but yeah, no, and that's actually a conversation they talk about. They talk about
Do they
that.
really?
Yeah, they do. They cover that
Well,
fact.
I mean, if they're gonna get in depth with it, maybe
Maybe it's worth
this is
their
something I should check out. It sounds
Oh,
like
you can get pretty
It sounds like
in-depth.
there's it's pretty lore.
No,
They
there's.
really explore these themes and ideas.
You'd
in
be
depth.
surprised. Go back and look at my 4-hour stream. About half
I'll
an hour
watch.
of that was maybe fighting, maybe 45 minutes. There's lots of cutscenes. There's lots of talking. There's lots of Renoa loves to get abused. And so anyway, I spent about half the time customizing the characters, and it's something I did a lot in the previous game. But it's because you can take any item, a hat, like an accessory, like a necklace, like anything like that.
panties.
Panties. You can glasses. You can completely change the size of it, so you can make it big, you can make it small, you can make it like wide, you can do all these, and you can put it on any part of the body, so you can put glasses on their feet if you want, if you so choose. I made one girl
How does that even work?
a sushi warrior. So I made the sushi as wide and long as possible, and I put it on her limbs. So each limb has a long sushi roll. Yeah, so it looks like she's like a sushi fighter. Like she has all of her sushi armor. And then the fourth one is the last one. Sorry, there's 10 total. So there's one on each limb. There's one. What's up?
I'm questioning the need to talk about Senran Kagura without footage. This is frustrating.
Okay, well I'll bring some footage next week. There's one in between her boobs.
I want to see this butt splitting
And so
contest.
I attached
Exactly.
it. The thing is, you can attach it to a boob, so it moves with the boob's physics. So
one?
it's it's on the right one. You can do it on the left one if you want.
I do want.
And then the girl who loves to be abused. It was the first time I was messing with the sushi roll because I just unlocked it. When you attach a sushi roll, it's by default sticking out of their mouth, like as they're eating the sushi roll. So I stuck 9 sushi rolls in her mouth, coming out at different angles.
Oh.
So, yeah, no. So she's just got all these sushi rolls, and then the last one's coming out of her
Monster
butt.
now.
Yep. I'll bring some footage next week so we can have some
I can't
visuals.
believe this is a game that exists. All right.
Before we talk about Salt and Sanctuary, I just want to briefly mention that my love affair with Street Fighter has been slightly put on hold. I ordered a arcade stick converter, and I got it. I'm still detecting very slight input delay, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to play with my arcade stick like that.
It sounds like you should send it back.
Well, I mean...
Where'd you order it from?
I mean, I ordered the best one on the market, pretty much. I mean, the one that everyone recommended.
I assume
Like-
you've already talked to Chai Tai about this.
Yeah, I think it would be fine for Tekken. Like when I say there's a delay, it is almost imperceptible. But Street Fighter is a very fast game, a lot faster than Tekken. So I think it'll
Well, Chai
absolutely
says
work
that
with Tekken.
Street Fighter V has input delay natively.
So it could be my TV. No, but I did a comparison versus my controller, and it's a split second longer on the stick. But
Well, then just make your move a split second sooner.
when you're doing stuff like anti-airs and you got to be real quick, every little split second counts.
Okay, so just be a split second quicker.
Yeah, but I still want to play.
Simple.
It's not that easy. But yeah.
Sure it is.
So I don't know. I mean, the smart thing would be to actually order a PS4 arcade stick, but I'm not in the market for that. So we'll see. I'll keep playing with my controller.
Cool.
We'll see.
Everyone should know.
Did you finish Far Cry?
I finished Far Cry.
There you go. Was it good?
Yeah,
Good.
it's
worth it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've had this conversation before,
Yeah, we have.
and I am quite pleased with this Far Cry. Some people are probably not going to be, but I really enjoyed it. It does kind of fizzle out at the end, and like, I don't. It feels like it's building to something grander,
And
then
dinosaur showing up.
No,
And it never does?
I think as a result of the way they chose to end this, and the way it does feel kind of like the ending feels kind of muted. Like it almost feels like a more personal like experience. I guess I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to. It's not like some epic action film like Far Cry 3 or 4. Like it doesn't end with like crazy shit happening. It's just kind of it builds to this climax, and then you fight a dude, and then it's over.
Is there anything close to a dinosaur? I mean,
we're not having this conversation.
it was a really long time ago. We have like
it's the Stone Age.
alligators like now. That's pretty fucking close to a dinosaur.
There are
You think
alligators. There are alligators in the game.
But I'm sure back then, like there was like kind of in between an alligator and a dinosaur, right?
This is only like 10,000 years ago.
Okay.
You know, that's not a whole lot of time for evolution.
10,000 years
to
ago,
change
people were
shit.
real short, right? Stuff changes.
Yeah, a little bit, but like dinosaurs don't.
There are no dinosaurs in this game.
Giant dinosaurs don't disappear.
Every animal in this
a
game
few
looks
thousand
like
years.
a variation of an animal we have today, and that's okay because that's how it was 10,000 years ago.
Larger alligators.
Sure, they're pretty large. There's giant like piranhas. I jumped in the water and got fucking attacked by a big ass fish.
Slightly.
Are you sure they were piranhas? Maybe they were like arowanas, maybe?
They call them bite fishes,
Monkfish.
bite fish?
Oh,
which
okay,
I have a
bite
feeling is probably not what they're known as
Bite
today.
fish.
But also, I remember I said when I
they
started the
can't-
game, I'd only been attacked by like a hawk once.
Yeah.
That was the only time in the entire game that I got attacked
Dude,
by a
shut
hawk.
the fuck up.
There's
I
just
played
like a
that
fuck
game
you.
for
Never-
like 3 hours.
I never once got
and it
attacked
kept
by a hawk.
happening.
Or do you stealth around a lot?
Yeah,
Maybe that's why.
I mean you
Can we
kind of have
talk
to.
about the game that we've all been playing?
The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess HD.
No. Salt and Sanctuary.
Y'all don't want to hear me talk about
Salty
goat.
Souls.
Y'all don't want to hear me talk about
Salty
goat herding.
Sanctuary.
You played 3 hours, and that's like the worst 3 hours
God
of any
damn.
Zelda game.
Go turning?
Not counting
That game takes
Skyward
a
Sword.
while
What
to
is
start.
go turning?
Goat herding.
Go Turning.
Herding of goats.
Anyway.
Wait, why are you hurting them? What did they do to you?
All right, let's talk about Salt and Sanctuary. We've all been playing a lot of that. Where do we want to start? I know
Briefly talked about it last week because I had played a few hours, but
at this point, you and Nolan have played the most.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm about 8 hours in. Crispy, you just started.
Yeah, 2 maybe, if that.
Yeah. I saw your level like 89.
yes. Oh man.
He wasn't 89 when you showed up. Well,
Yeah.
when I showed up. He
Well,
was like 82.
So I was
Damn.
the course of events that happened while I was on the phone with Time Warner. I was trying to transmute a boss weapon, right? Cost 100,000 salt. You know, like
Yeah.
a single level up for me is like 20,000, right?
Yeah.
But I had to hold 100,000 at one time to transmute this weapon. So I was doing that, and when I got to like 99,900 and something, I still had to do one more kill, and I was fighting this.
You didn't have to kill that thing. You could have killed
I didn't have to
any
kill that
enemy.
thing, but that was like the only thing in that area, really. And I was fighting this really hard enemy, and I was like, wouldn't it really suck if I lost all these now? And I go to fight him one last time, and I die. So now I have to go back and fight him again
To get those
those souls back.
No, to get the salt back.
To get the
God
salt
damn
back.
it. I've been saying souls.
Whatever, it's the same shit. And as that was happening, like he turned off my computer, so the whole screen went black
I didn't turn off
as
your- oh, yeah,
I was
okay, yeah.
fighting him, and I couldn't see, and I had not killed. I was so close to losing
You should've hit the-
100,000 salt.
Hit the dashboard button on your PS4 controller.
The turn of events
I don't
was
think that would pause the
comedic.
game, though.
No, it doesn't pause.
It doesn't? Even when you go back
I
to
don't
the
think so.
dashboard?
I don't think you can pause this game at all.
That's the point of the game. Is it?
Well, I
it's
know,
like Dark
but you can't
Souls.
hit pause. But like, I thought when you go to a dashboard, it automatically like freezes, suspends the game.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right. So now that all of y'all have played it more, do y'all believe me when I was saying last week when I said this game is like
word out of your mouth, right?
exactly like Dark Souls?
Yeah,
This game, okay.
It is pretty relentless. in
This
its
game,
emulation of Dark Souls.
like, I'm really, really, really enjoying this game, but part of me has to wonder, like, is this okay? Like, this game is
Nick,
why
so
not?
incredibly Dark Souls.
It's 2D.
No, you know what? Okay, as much as this game is like a straight up 2D Dark Souls clone, the one thing that they didn't clone exactly that is bothering the fuck out of me is the control scheme.
You talking about like button placement and stuff?
Yeah, like
you can
just the controller.
you can change
adjust
all of
that.
that. Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
yeah, you can.
So I have nothing to talk about then.
Oh, sorry.
You have no complaints.
Well,
Damn it.
I would say that you'd also get used to it, but yeah,
Damn
you
it.
can change that stuff to where
Yeah.
it's exactly like Dark Souls with the. You could put the heavy attack and light attack
But I
on
mean,
R1
like-
and R2.
Like, when I, like, the things that I talk about when I'm questioning if it's, like, okay, like, there are, like, I straight up found a note that said, praise this, or what does it say?
Someone left that though.
Yeah, someone left a
a
bottle.
user left that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You get an item that will let you drop those wherever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but you can also, like, summon people to help you fight boss. Like, I don't know. It's just,
That's only local co-op.
I know, I figured that out after
so, Nick, honestly, this is just as much Castlevania as it is Souls.
And that's what I've heard. I mean, I've only fought defeated 4 bosses so far. I'm about 8 hours into it. I mean, and I heard there's some point there's kind of like a turning point. It starts to feel more like a Castlevania game.
Yes.
But like first impression wise, man, this is like unabashedly a. I don't want to say the word ripoff is a very negative
Well,
connotation,
it is
but like
2D.
it is.
In no means is this a ripoff of Souls.
It's a riff.
I mean, every single idea in this game pretty much came from Dark Souls.
Yeah, I mean they are cribbing like very heavily.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to like. I'm really enjoying it. I've played 8 hours in 2 days, which, considering that's a lot for me lately. So
No, this is a very addictive game as
it's
well.
very addictive.
Like a Dark Souls game. Like I said, its strengths are like Dark Souls strengths. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to talk about this game because
It's okay. Here's the thing: its strengths align very closely with Dark Souls. Its weaknesses, though, don't align with are pretty unique to this. I think, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is a 2D version of Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's not a 3D world, and this is something I was talking about with Brad, and that's something that's a little bit different because it's 2D. Honestly, I get lost a whole lot more in this than I did in Dark Souls.
You know why there's not a fucking map?
There's not a map in Dark Souls.
I know, but
either.
in Dark Souls, at any given time, you can look around and
that's what I'm
tell
saying.
where you are.
That's what I'm saying. You can look off into the distance and see something.
You can't do that
You can
here.
only look at what's on the screen.
You were only confined to what you can see on the screen at any given moment.
So
and
I popped in the chat the other day, and Brad was like, "Where am I?" And that I've said that statement more times playing this game than because this world is fucking huge.
I also don't know if the areas, at least so far,
Uh-huh.
none of the areas I've been into feel unique enough to be as identifiable
that
as
will change.
anything.
There are some areas that are very different than some of that
Okay.
starting stuff.
And yeah, the starting stuff,
I know.
a lot of it's
I've
very
gone
similar.
through I've gone through 4 or 5 areas, and they all feel different, but not in the same way that going from one area in Dark Souls is going
Yeah, I
know.
guess there's only so much you can do in 2D, but
part of
I
that-
would say as a side-scrolling game, I'm surprised by the quality and the variety of level design because some of the Igavanias, I'd say their biggest weaknesses are level design itself, but there's some really cool, tricky platforming stuff and stuff with traps and whatnot. I expected that to be where this game really failed, and I'm constantly surprised that it is not the issue that I thought it was going to be when I say briefly tried it at E3 or something. Because there's a lot of side-scrolling games that have a lot of really good systems. What was that game that people Valdis Story is a really cool game because there's a lot of cool systems and the combat's fun. But I really hate the level design, and I'm constantly surprised by some of the areas that I'm stumbling into in this game because it's really fun, especially when you get to and it doesn't happen like in the first 8 hours maybe, but you eventually start getting abilities like navigation abilities.
Yeah.
Like you would see in a Castlevania game. And that starts playing into like level design, like platforming design and stuff. And it gets tricky in ways that you weren't even really expecting.
A lot changes, a lot happens.
Yeah,
like there's some pretty intense stuff later on.
Like the first one you get, I'll just say the first one lets you flip gravity. And all of a sudden, like it plays into effect of like finding secrets and platforming, because now you're doing stuff upside down.
See, that's where I think it's going to start to feel more unique to this game.
Yeah,
definitely. No,
everything I've played so far has been,
and that's what I was saying. Like as soon as you get your first, they're called brands.
Yeah,
and those are like the abilities. As soon as you get your first one, that's kind of when the game changes, and it becomes a lot less. I mean, it's still the same combat, but exploration completely changes, and every brand after that also it changes exploration, and it changes just how you play the game, how you think about the world. Oh, now you want to go back to areas you previously been to, almost Metroid, like use your new abilities to access new areas and do new things. And one of the things I was talking about with Brad earlier as well is there's no campfires in this. They've been replaced with sanctuaries. And I love the sanctuaries. I love the concept. I love, finding it. Instead of kindling the bonfire, lighting the bonfire, you place your idol, your statue, whatever, symbol in that sanctuary.
And you can even find like completely vacant ones where if you don't have an item, you can't use that sanctuary, which is a cool concept.
Well, no, you always have the item with you. It's the symbol of your what's the word?
Because I found a. You talking about the candelabra?
Your covenant or whatever.
Your covenant, yeah. If you're in, that's the 3 whatever.
You don't have to be in that one.
No, but I found one that I had to like.
Yeah, you just equip that item and you put it on there.
Are you talking about the candelabra?
Yeah.
No, I found one that wouldn't accept the candelabra. I had to put.
Did it already have something on there?
No, it was a dark room. Like you couldn't even really tell it was a sanctuary. I walked into a completely dark room.
You could have definitely put the candelabra there.
I tried.
That's what you do in those rooms.
It only accepted one item, and it was like a stone. I don't even remember what it was exactly.
There was an idol on it already.
Maybe that was
no. There wasn't. There was no idol on it. It was literally just a.
It looks like a sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell it was a dark room, but you could tell there was like an altar in the middle.
Yeah,
of the
every
room.
one of those I found, I put my Covenant's item on there, and it became my sanctuary.
I've only found one room like that.
Are you sure the stone isn't your sanctuary? Isn't your Covenant?
Yeah.
It is or is not?
I mean, every other sanctuary that I have found in this game, I walk in, the light is already on. There is usually someone there, like some a self,
NPC,
an NPC of some kind there. But so Charlie says I may have found a mini sanctuary. The thing is I don't know. Apparently I'm the only one who found this. I don't know. It was a room. It was right near where that you fight the jester. And it was just a completely dark room. I walk in. There was an altar in the middle. I could barely see anything.
Could you level up there?
Not until I put this item on there, but it wasn't the item that I always put on every.
Did you change Covenants?
No.
You may have changed covenants. It happens.
You might have accidentally changed Covenants.
Yeah. You mean when you go to a different sanctuary and you make a pledge?
Yeah.
Then you're no longer in that original covenant.
And then
you're now in a new
you have to find
someone
someone to recover your sins. There's someone you can find.
I've been changing covenants pretty much every sanctuary I go to.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah, don't do that because
why?
I'll explain.
There's
why.
an achievement for doing every one of them.
Okay, but here's why you shouldn't do it. Because if you do a covenant's like quests or whatever, like if you get a stone leader and you bring in a stone leader to your covenant, he'll be like, collect these items or whatever, and if you bring 3 of these things, you complete that little quest or whatever, and he'll give you a choice of, do you want an extra like Estus flask, do you want an imperial fire or an imperial.
They're not called Estus flasks.
I know, but
well, they're called something different for every covenant.
The thing is, you only get those bonuses if you're currently pledged to that covenant. If you switch covenants, those bonuses go away.
Can you re-earn them, or is
I think I think you can re-earn them. You can re-earn them, but it's in your benefit to.
You have to go back to the old sanctuary and make a pledge to that covenant again.
Well, you have to pay off your sins, just like in Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's like in Dark Souls.
See, I have not even reached a point in Dark Souls where I know what it means to pay off your sins.
Oh.
Well, in a Souls game, you don't always have to.
Yeah,
that's something that's kind of a little more unique.
If you're like
and
a PvP.
I found the woman.
No, in Demon Souls and I think Dark Souls, you couldn't just flip-flop between covenants, right? You would have to find the person and
yeah.
Well, they also like when they do the I forget what they're called, but like the tribute items that you pay
Hey.
towards a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Those all reset if you leave the covenant.
Yeah.
So if you've been like paying in to get a special weapon or miracle or something like that, and you leave, that all goes away. And you
Yeah,
have to
just like
reset.
in this game. Yeah, just like in this game. So what you should do is you should like find one covenant you like use that item on every single empty covenant room you come across, and you even get these items that let you change the covenant of a one that's already set. So you can have more
See,
sanctuaries
these are all
that are
systems
just
that
your
are still
covenant.
kind of alien. to
And
me.
once
Like,
again,
I-
similar to a Souls games, they don't get explained to you.
Yeah, or not
which
well. At least.
you know.
And that's something I kind of figured out because I was watching Brad play before I had played a whole lot.
See, I'm making amateur mistakes because they're not explaining.
and that's
shit.
fine. That's you haven't ruined your game.
You've almost ruined it.
Like if you go to like a fountain or something, or a covenant that's not your covenant, and you don't pledge to it, your healing item will change.
Yeah, I noticed. I went from now I carry on these like glass shards. I think.
Yeah, instead of what you originally had.
I found a covenant with poison healing items.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What the fuck? I was fighting a boss right after I found it, and I thought the boss did something to my healing item that made it poison, and then I realized it was just the Covenant's healing item.
But I think it also gives your weapon a poison attack as well. I think.
it's just part of that Covenant.
Yeah, so your weapon becomes poison, but you also take poison damage.
Which one is that?
I forget.
I found an
Is that
item
the
that does
one-
that too.
I don't know.
There's a lot of really cool items. One of the
Oh my God,
things
there's a lot.
that I was really psyched about is this weapon that I use now. I found a giant pair of scissors that, see, I usually get pretty frustrated because I always like to play strength builds in these games, but dex builds always get like the cool weapons.
Yeah.
And even in this game, they can get bows and crossbows and guns and whips and stuff. But I found a pair of scissors that was strength scaled, and I was super pumped. And those scissors are fucking awesome because you could just sit there and whoosh, 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 like as a heavy attack. And it's like a really fast heavy attack, and it's unique. I've never seen anything like it. So I was, again, it's the kind of thing that I'm worried about in an indie game.
Yeah.
In a smaller game, I knew it was going to be like Souls, but I was afraid that it just wasn't going to have like the variety and the cool shit and the
I
secrets.
honestly,
that
to
you
an
would
extent, it has more items and variety
Yeah.
than Souls games.
Yeah.
Like there is a lot of shit in this game, and especially when you start like transmuting items,
Mm-hmm.
that opens up a whole new world when you can start changing your items into something new now,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and then you know you have the blacksmith where you upgrade the items. There's such a variety when it comes to like the outfits, like the the different pieces of armor
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I found this game to be more refreshing.
By the way, those blobs are the bane of my fucking
Yeah,
existence.
they're hard to see.
They're weak to blunt, I think. I feel like I'm enjoying this game more than I did Bloodborne because it has a lot of the things that the Souls games have that Bloodborne didn't. And I'm
Like challenge.
no.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
No,
was being a troll.
Bloodborne's
Being
really
a troll.
challenging. I'm just saying, like the RPG stuff, like the build stuff. Like in Bloodborne, every character felt the fucking same. But like playing a heavy character versus like a magic user versus like a light armor dodging guy is very different in this game.
How
like in
you play
Souls
the
games.
game based on your weapons and your abilities is very unique.
Yeah. And I fucking missed the shields, man. So glad they're in this game because they work exactly like they
So
did in
maybe y'all
Souls
can
games.
answer this question for me because Emily actually found that she's playing it too. And she fought the. Yeah, no, that was. Really
I've done
close.
that before, yeah.
That was real close. I mid jump. Oh yeah, and then that happened. I forgot this happened in my footage.
Dude, I've done falling to your death has happened to me so many times in this game.
Number of times I've been like I was up top near the where you fight the alchemist, and
Yeah.
that there's that big dude with the giant hammer, and he like hit me, like backhanded me, and I flew off the ledge. Not only did I fly off the ledge, the camera followed me all the way down, and I hit like 4 things on the way down. And it looked,
I love
And it
that.
was just like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I love that they programmed that in.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch like ragdoll physics, like
Yeah.
people like in a lot of like doing really painful shit. I was like, oh, just like
Do you want to know
all the way
a
down.
secret I found, which they'll probably patch? Any enemy that leaps at you and grabs you, when it's done with its attack, it slams you on the ground.
Yeah.
But if you're on the edge when it does that, you will get slammed all the way to the bottom, but not take damage from that fall.
You use that to your advantage somehow? You can probably get into some areas you're not supposed to be in yet.
So there's only been a couple of times where like the alien-looking creatures. those guys, they definitely do that, and there's been multiple times where they've grabbed me and flung me all the way to the bottom.
Enemy variety
Yeah,
too.
like you only take damage on the hit, but not the fall.
Yes.
Right? I've heard of people exploiting that, but
Yeah.
apparently they're patching it.
I
believe
assume
it.
they're going to. It happened to me by random on accident, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." I didn't do a whole lot of playing with it just because I haven't found any areas that it might be useful. But yeah, no, and that's the thing with this game is there's so many. It is 100 more times connected than like Dark Souls 2 or something like that. Like everything is interconnected with everything. You're constantly finding doors you can't access, and then later on you do find the key or whatever. You get to the other side of it and you pull the lever, and now you can get through. And there's so much going on.
So real quick, we're going back to items because we all talk about there being a lot of variety in the items and whatnot.
Fuck this enemy.
So I actually skipped the Village of Smiles, which is like the second area you go to.
Well, once again, it doesn't have to be the same.
Yeah, I
there's
know,
a lot of optional
but
stuff,
most
too.
people will probably go through the Village of Smiles second. Like it doesn't like it does start to open up and give you options and directions and stuff eventually, but like up front when you're still getting used to it, it kind of drives you. Like both me and Emily both went through the same area, but like I went through the Village of Smiles without fighting the boss. I went right past it, and then she fought the boss, and she beat it. And then she was like, "You have to do something for me," because she's like, she found one of those pumpkin heads
Yes.
that you can wear as like a
I
hat.
have that. I'm still
It's a-
wearing
it's a
that.
really good item.
I'm still
Yeah.
wearing that in my game.
But she said after she beat the Lady of Smiles and the boss in the village, she read the description for the item that she dropped, and it says that the Lady of Smiles has a deathly fear of gourds. And she was like, if you wear that during the boss fight, does anything happen? And I went and fought her. That's why at the beginning of this footage, I was wearing the pumpkin head when I fought her, because I went back and did that. And nothing like overtly happened. Like she didn't do anything, but she seemed less aggressive to me. And maybe
I could see that happening.
I just don't know. Like, was that boss for y'all like super like
It was
up your
challenging.
ass?
I mean,
Like,
She was pretty aggressive when I
because
fought
like
her,
there were
yeah.
moments where I was like, because in these boss fights, it's really hard to like find a moment to breathe and take a health potion. I was just standing there in the middle of the match, just like taking a health potion, and she was like on the other side of the map, and she would wait like 10 seconds before she would eventually just come at me. And I was wondering if she was just being less because I was wearing that gourd mask. So I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
I hope that's the case, because that kind of shit is really cool.
These guys are the ones I was talking about.
Oh, the little.
the xenomorph.
I
Yeah,
call
the
them
xenomorphs.
queen aliens. Emily calls them fire kangaroos.
If they pounce on you when you're on the ledge of something, they'll knock you all the way down to the bottom.
I've seen some some funny shit where they knock me off of an edge. There's some great deaths.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's some great fucking just horrible turn of events, kind of like Spelunky or something, where like shit just starts going wrong and you go flying.
Yeah.
It sucks when it happens, obviously, but I always kind of laugh.
My problem with this game, and this is really, I think, just a byproduct, because they're trying to stick really close to the Souls formula, but because it is in a 2D plane instead of a 3D plane, I think this can sometimes backfire on it. And that is bosses. Obviously, you fight the boss, and at a certain point, their strategy changes, right?
Yes, but usually about halfway through their health.
Usually halfway or to a fourth of their health, they get really aggressive. And like this reared its ugly head for me when I was fighting the Mad Alchemist. Like by the end of that fight,
Fuck that boss.
he was like, there was so much shit on screen, I couldn't even see my character. Like
He throws a
even-
lot of potions and stuff.
but there was like 6 of those little blob dudes.
Oh, you gotta
and then
take
he was
care of
throwing,
those
and he was
guys.
throwing electricity, and like and then the little shadow dude that was throwing those like pink exploding things
Yeah.
all at once.
I'd say that level of chaos is pretty unique to that boss.
Yeah,
though.
not many bosses
That-
after
good.
that do a whole lot of spawning of enemies, and that's one of those ones where you really got to keep the battlefield
Because
cleaned
that
up.
was the only boss fight I've done so far where I was like, this feels unfair. Like it's so crowded and he's so aggressive and those things are so hard to like kill without them grabbing onto you.
Yeah, you got to be really aggressive with them and get them before they can pounce.
But like if there's any more than 1 or 2 on screen, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like
and it's similar to a Souls game in that regard. All enemies have like a stagger point where if you do enough damage to them, they'll become staggered, and you really have to learn how enemies work with your current abilities and current levels. Hey, if I get one more hit in, I'll stagger them, which will stop their attack. You can stagger bosses too,
which is cool.
Um,
But you know what I hate though? Every time you have to refight a boss, it does the little like animation where it shows their name and you have to
Yeah.
wait for that shit to start. Like Dark Souls, you just once you start
Correct.
the boss, you just go into it and you're fighting it again. There's
Yep.
you don't have to watch
That's
that
true.
shit again. That's annoying. But there are a lot of bosses in this game. I see Slade was wondering if there are a lot of bosses.
There's a lot.
Oh
if
my
you
God,
just
yeah,
go
yeah.
through the trophy list in this game, you're like, holy shit.
There's a lot.
There's like 20, 25
I think
bosses
about 20
or
bosses
something
at
like
least,
that.
Yeah.
And you can miss some entirely, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
there are optional bosses, yes. But also similar to Souls games, every time I approach an enemy, I don't know if they're going to be hard or weak.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll see a giant enemy and like in 2 hits he's dead.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll see this tiny little girl who comes out of the ground. But if she gets you, she'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
She has like a little knife and she just stabs the fuck out of you until you die.
Like,
There's some cool enemies too. Like I'm again another thing I was not expecting, but I'm impressed with the enemy variety. I fought an enemy recently that's like just a giant monster with like 10 arms, and his attack is he'll just start ripping arms off and throwing
he
them at
throws
you.
his own arms at you. It's
fucking cool.
crazy.
have either of y'all finished this game yet?
No.
No, but I mean, I feel
I'm
like
kind of
maybe I'm
wondering
getting
how
there.
how
eventually.
long of a game that ultimately this is going to
So-
end up
so-
being. I feel like once you get the hang of it, it starts to
It
move
depends.
faster.
like
It
20,
depends.
30 hours.
So Jaeger told me he beat it in I want to say 20 hours.
It seems really fast.
That is Jaeger.
Brad's currently at 24 hours. I'm currently at like 12 hours or 13
Which seems
hours.
crazy considering your
And
level.
I'm like 10 levels below Brad.
Yeah, that seems crazy
That's
to me.
insane.
I don't know. Like I feel like I've been
I
going
do
at a
like that.
slower pace.
I do like that you do level up so much faster. Like I've played 8 hours. I'm level 30, and I just feel like because of that faster tempo of like leveling your character, I feel like every time I sit down to play it, I feel like I accomplished something. Because usually, even if I sit down to play it for like 15, 20 minutes, I can level up once or twice.
Yeah,
in that
you
time.
can get enough salt to go up at least one level, or kind of explore through a new area and maybe find, if you ever find one of those little candle chambers, a boss is near there, because I'd always have one near the boss.
The higher you get of like, oh man, I hit my next level. Let me go level up and get my next soul level. It's so exact same as Dark Souls.
Well,
that
they
feeling.
do it better than Souls because you have the little icon, the white bar
Yeah,
on the
that's
bottom,
so nice.
you know exactly
They
when
should
you have enough
steal
to
that.
level up.
If From Software needs to play this game, because there's a lot of little things.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I like that.
Like the sphere grid?
I like that you can't just spam healing items because your max health will go down a little bit every time you take damage.
Yeah.
Magic hasn't. Who's doing Magic?
I'm not.
Magic works
Crispy
really
is.
weird the way they implement it, where you have like this stamina bar. You notice that little gray bar down at the bottom?
The focus, right?
The focus,
Yeah.
like that. Your max stamina will decrease the more you do spells,
Yeah.
but you can find ways
I
of
found that from
decreasing that penalty and
like
stuff.
I didn't realize that's what that bar was when I started playing, because I'm playing a mage and it looks like that it's all just on stamina, so you can like throw some fireballs, wait for it to recharge, but apparently like if you spam them a bunch, that will go down and then cap you off, and then you can't use,
Also,
you don't have enough stamina to use magic for that.
Also, I like the thing that's happening on screen now, where when you die to a boss, they have your
look at her.
souls.
Look
but-
at her.
Yeah, that's
See,
weird.
I'm wearing that pumpkin head, and she's like hanging out on the other side of the screen, and I was wondering if that was because
But
of.
you see, like if you get them down to a certain level, and
your
it
souls
shows
back.
you get your souls back.
Yeah.
Tells you,
Like,
which
that's
is
very
cool because
clever.
sometimes maybe if you're under level for a boss, but they took a bunch of your souls, you can go in, get them down, get your souls back, use an item that teleports
Get
you
the
out
fuck
of there.
out
Do
of
you have
there.
to?
But you can do that in a
Remind me.
I think you can
On
use
Dark
an
Souls
item, yeah.
bosses, when you lose your souls, do you just have to?
just soul stain.
You just pick them up.
yeah.
soul stain.
So you can go into the boss arena and just find your soul
And,
stain.
yeah,
there.
and
That
in
just
Dark
makes
Souls,
it
that's what
like-
you would
This
do,
is
but-
really cool.
Yeah, you can't do that here. Anytime an enemy kills you, they get your souls.
Yeah, and that's super satisfying too. That when you you can see on the health bar where you have to get them down to get the salt back, and when you actually hit it, like you cross that point on their health bar, all of a sudden there's just this
It's like a poof of salt. Yeah,
this like big poof of salt. That's
Chime
awesome.
mentioned something in chat that I wasn't aware of, and I knew that anytime you see like a candelabra with a bunch of candles on it, that's a boss fight.
Yeah.
But he was saying that apparently the more candles that are lit, the harder the boss is going to be.
I said that to Emily last night, and she was like, "I don't think so because it's been really inconsistent." That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Because I walked into the boss. I was about to walk into the alchemist. I think it was like 2 candles lit. I went up to the jester room, and it was like 5, and I was like, "I wonder if that's associated." And I walked in, and I got my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
And I
I thought
wasn't
it was
sure.
based on like percentages of success.
I thought it was
people
like
have had.
difficulty of the boss. Just the more candles you see, the more difficult it is. Period.
I've
But-
definitely seen candelabras with full candles.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I'm like,
I have not been paying that much attention to how many are lit. I just if there are any lit, I know there's.
God,
a boss
I had
there.
this moment yesterday. I went into the room with the jester because I wanted to get my souls back.
Yeah.
And because he had gotten like 4,000 souls from me, and I went in there and I fought him and I got him down. I got my salt back, and then I was like, but by the time I had gotten up there, I don't remember what I did. I had fucked up at one point. I think one of those aliens attacked me, and I ended up, because of a bad run of luck, I ended up with like 1 health item when I went into the boss room, and I just wanted to get my souls, but in retrospect, I probably should have gone back. But anyways, I went in there and I was panicking. I was like, oh fuck, what have I done? I've made a bad decision. This is not going well. I'm about to lose permanently like 6,000 souls when it's all said and done. And I used my last health item, attacked him, got my salt back, and then I was like, I'm fucked. And he was charging at me, and I switched over to the bell.
The bell, yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know if this is going to work in the boss room. Rang the bell, and it doesn't pause time and rings the bell. It pops up a menu that says, do you want to go back to the last sanctuary?
Yeah.
While the boss is still charging at me. And as he's about to fucking hit me, I hit yes, and then like the screen fades, and I was
Nice.
like, oh my God.
Nice.
Like that was amazing.
So
Also terrifying.
well, like Brad was saying, I agree that Souls, the games could learn a little bit from this in terms of like showing you when your next level is going to be. The skill tree in this is great. I love that you can see, oh, if I go down this path, it's only 4 levels, but I get another Estus, I get another potion. And there's definitely been a couple of, like, I went down the magic path at the bottom because I only needed 3 levels just to grab an extra potion.
Yeah. We haven't even
well-
talked about the sphere grid.
Yeah. But one thing I do want to mention, it's frustrating for me, is the inability to compare items with what you currently have equipped. And I hate when games do that.
Well,
I hate
you-
when you're in a shop and you're looking at an item.
You can
Well,
hit square, can't you? And it pulls up.
It'll tell you if the item is a higher level, if it goes higher or lower. But if you're upgrading an item, it only goes based off of its item stat. Does that make sense? So if you go to upgrade an item and you say upgrade 1 level, it will show you how that item's levels will change, but it doesn't compare it to your current. I don't want a green or a red or whatever. I want the stats side by side.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
what I want. That is, there's no mistaking that. Like that, and plenty of games do it. Plenty of games will show you what you currently have equipped.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't. And it's just a little frustration that I think would make my life a little
Another
bit easier.
nice little thing that I really like is when you're looking at your stats, you click in the left stick.
Yeah,
it'll change
percentages.
it to percentages. So like you can see the percentage of your equipment burden,
Yeah.
like as a numerical number. So
I
you can
still,
see like,
by the
oh,
way-
I'm at 76%, so I'm really close to fast roll.
This is a concept that's explained to me with Dark Souls, and I still don't understand it. Equipment burden. I don't understand how that works. Like, what?
if you
I
get it
don't-
below a certain percentage, 75%, you fast roll.
where did you? How?
It doesn't show you a percentage. It shows you an actual
Number, yeah.
of like how much weight you can handle. Shows you how much you have equipped, and you have to just figure the percentage.
But
No,
It's like-
how
it's
did
like
click in
30.
L3? It'll
But
change
how
it to
did
a
people
percentage.
figure out that it had to
No,
be
in Dark Souls.
75%?
In Dark Souls, it doesn't show.
I don't
You
know.
gotta do math.
I know,
People-
but
because people
but
actually
like
tested
when you
it
talk
out
to
and-
Dark Souls fans now, they're just like so matter of factly like, oh yeah, it's
Well,
75%.
it's because they test it out.
Yeah.
They just equip a bunch of items and then they do a roll, see how much stamina, see
That's
whatever.
one of those things that like you see online on
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
forums and the wiki
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
what they're actually
Gotcha. Okay.
how it actually.
But stuff like
works.
that.
Well, I
Or
didn't know you
seeing
could
like
click the
what
thumbstick.
percentage of damage you're actually mitigating with your defensive bonuses. That you see that stuff too, which is the kind of thing that's always invisible in like Dark Souls. So you just assume that, I'm guessing this is better. But
Yeah.
you know, it's cool. I like it.
Did
a
we
lot.
want to say anything about the sphere grid?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but again, you are kind of like mapping out your future in a way that is kind of just in
It's
your
almost
head.
permanent as
in Dark
well.
Souls, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, also there's a part of me that like when sometimes I go in and I kind of like map it out. Other times I go in and I'm like, I'm leveling up for a very specific purpose. Like I remember fighting a boss and I was like, my stamina is fucking shit. And even though I was kind of already going in one direction, I was just looking around for
you can
any
put
available
multiple points
stamina.
into those.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have the
Three-
the
it's
dots.
Just a nice option to do that. Like if you really need some stamina.
But sometimes I grind for the sole purpose of going on that sphere grid and finding stamina
Oh, no,
orbs.
that's definitely
It
happened.
gives you more of a like a less aimlessness. Also, they introduced a thing called like gray metals or whatever, gray coins, which let you remove a node and get that.
So if you
is that what the silver orb is?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
you can if you previously
orb or
put a
whatever.
black pearl into something you no longer want, you can remove it and you'll get the black pearl back.
So like if you tried out like a weapon or you went down a path where you had to take stuff you didn't really want to get something you did want, you can now get like the in between nodes back and spin that like somewhere else.
That's cool.
Yeah. You can even do that stuff strategically if you like really want something right away.
And just kind of going back to sanctuaries, I really like that most sanctuaries you come to don't have people in them. Like
Yeah.
Nick, a bunch you've seen have, but later on, there's just so many that have
Yeah, and I
nobody.
wasted an idle inviting that dude into
And so that's the
for
thing. is
co-op,
you
and
can,
I was like, oh, this is
you can
local
customize
co-op.
those. And so like right now, I'm not playing Magic. And so I have like a shit ton of clerics and mage like idols in my
too.
inventory because there's
Me
no point
too.
in me using them because there's no point in putting a cleric in that room. They're going to be useless. And you can only put 4 people in each room. So I definitely tried to strategize where I put stone guides because I definitely want stone guides so I can fast travel between them.
Yeah.
I definitely want, at least a blacksmith,
And
stuff
the
like that.
bonuses you get too are nice.
And that's another cool thing is the fact that everyone's game can be unique in the sense that in that sanctuary, depending on what you put in there, that will affect the area you're in. That area gets the bonuses affected by the merchant or whatever that you put in that room.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool little things in
A lot
this
of cool
game.
touches.
Very
Who's ready
nice
for Dark
touches.
Souls 3?
I'm ready, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has definitely got me in the mood for
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
And this is not a game I saw because I didn't see it in any
You know
trade
what?
shows.
You know what really sucks? You know what I was gonna play on Sunday?
What's that?
I mean, until we had, if I was gonna play over the weekend, not necessarily Sunday, I was gonna fucking play Dark Souls, and then I was like, Emily's playing this, everyone's playing this. This looks pretty good. I played it at E3 or something. I liked it. I'll play Salt and Sanctuary, and now I'm fucking balls deep in Salt and Sanctuary. Still haven't touched Dark Souls.
Salty balls.
Man,
Chocolate salty balls. Oh,
Well, I mean,
excuse me.
this is almost a better way to kind of get in the Dark Souls mood without getting burnt out. If you were kind
That's
of
true.
beating
but
your head
I've
against Dark
already
Souls-
told myself I don't want to play Dark Souls 3 until I've played 1 and 2.
What?
Like I want to experience 1 and 2. Like I feel like that's a series that I want to play in order. I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, that's not necessary, but I understand. I mean, because they're not like really connected.
Aren't they though?
A little.
really.
Yeah, not really.
All right, well.
Not in any
Does
substantial.
anybody
way.
else have any closing thoughts on Salt and Sanctuary?
I think by this time next week, some of us may have finished it. Others will have played more of it. And
I probably will definitely finish it by next week. Yeah.
I probably would finish it, but Crispy and I are doing Super Metroid this weekend,
Oh shit!
so I'll be talking about that next week. I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we take a break? Nope.
Nope.
All right.
No, good.
Then I guess don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a second. We'll talk about there's some news.
Yeah, that's some
There's
news.
some news, some newsworthy items this week. So we'll talk about those. We'll answer some Patreon questions, and don't go anywhere.
Cool.
Hello, Brad.
Yo, Nick.
Welcome to the Bump Spot.
Oh, I thought this was the podcast. It's the bump spot.
It is the Bump Spot.
What's the bump spot, Nick?
It's that thing where we talk about stuff that's coming up.
Cool. What's coming up?
And I know last week on the Bump Spot we said we're doing the mini project M. last
How was
weekend.
that? Who won? Ooh, I love that game.
Nobody won because we didn't do it. But there were some scheduling conflicts.
Okay, it's okay.
We've got it figured out. We're ready to go. We're gonna do it this Saturday,
This Saturday,
That's
Super
the
Metroid,
26th.
a race.
It's a race to the end of Super Metroid. I think we're planning on starting at about 10 a.m.
And neither of y'all have played that game.
Neither myself or Crispy has ever ever played Super Metroid.
It's a gem. Super
Yeah,
Metroid.
I've only
is a
ever played
gem.
Metroid Prime 1. And you know what? Depending on how this goes, I'm contemplating maybe finally jumping back in and doing Metroid Prime 2 on the feed, which would be nice. So look for that on Saturday. Please come hang out. We would appreciate anyone's support. It should be fun. You'll get to witness us experience the magic for the first time. It'll be a magical event. Also, Brad,
Yes.
the Revival Club.
Oh yeah, the Revival Club.
We did Dragon Quest VIII last
Yes.
month. People seem to enjoy the format, so we're gonna do it again. We have a poll running right now for
What's
patrons.
in the poll?
Yes, the original Doom,
Ooh,
Star Fox 64,
fuck that game.
Psychonauts,
Psychonauts is great.
and Shenmue.
And Shenmue. I've never actually played much Shenmue.
Well, actually, I've played a little bit of Doom.
I've walked around and opened drawers and stuff.
Wait, I've played Star Fox 64. Never mind. Okay, maybe I've played more than I thought. Anyways, Psychonauts right now is apparently winning with a pretty big lead. I think last time
it's not relative. If you're a patron and you have not voted yet, please go vote in the poll because it's one of the things you're able to do.
If you were a patron, you should have an email in your email inbox with a link to take you straight to the poll. We will also get that. There's also a link on the Revival Club episode 1 post on the Patreon activity feed. And you can also, if you happen to be in the hip chat room, the Patreon hip chat room, drop in there. One of the either myself or one of some of the other patrons in there can drop you a link to the poll. Please go in there and vote. Let us know which game you want to see us play on the next episode. We'd really appreciate it. We're looking forward to doing another episode.
Also, please start thinking of, once we announce what wins, when are we going to decide that?
I think we'll probably let it run through the end of the month.
Okay, make sure if you've played that game or you have any history with that game, or you have any questions about that game, submit your feedback because we will address it on the actual recording of the video.
We have not yet announced the best way to submit said feedback.
No, I'll let you know.
Once we get that done, there'll be a post up on the site, and you'll have several avenues in which you can use to send us your questions and anecdotes and whatnot. And we want to make sure we get a bunch of those for the next episode. Lastly, I just want to point out we watched Daredevil last week. Season 2, and we managed to record a popcorn cast for the first 4 or 5 episodes, and we'll get that up. It's available to patrons right now. Once again, you can reference that newsletter I sent out on Sunday, and there's a link to download it directly from the newsletter. At this time, though, by the time you're listening to this at home, this should be available to the public, so you can go to 4playernetwork.com, download it, or you can get it from our iTunes feed and all that good stuff. So.
No popcorn was consumed.
No popcorn.
I think maybe
we
should try to track down unique popcorn, like the top voted popcorns from across the world, and buy that popcorn and always try new popcorn while we're watching these shows and movies.
Hey, this just in, Nolan here. Did you know there's a place in Austin that sells 30 different types of popcorn?
Ooh.
Nolan out.
Thank you, Nolan. So yeah, that's a good idea, Brett. We'll discuss it on our next meeting. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled podcast.
Bump out.
That was not very good.
Bump out!
Whatever. You don't even care anymore.
I got the popcorn from my engagement party.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's
that was pretty good popcorn.
Yeah, they have they're 30 different flavors. They have jalapeno popcorn. They have dill popcorn.
Ooh, I like dill stuff. Dill's underrated.
Yeah, dill's good. I like the stuff they use for pickles. You can go in and you can sample any of them. They have a little thing, and you can just take a sample and find which one you like.
I say we take a trip together down there to buy popcorn.
I have a big tin, and if I take that big tin back, I get 20%.
off. There's a place in Fredericksburg. It's like a salsa / every kind of thing you would dip anything into, right? Dip, salsa, just everything,
Balls.
right? And every single thing in the store, of which there's thousands of things, has samples.
Oh, wow.
So, and they just have bags and bags and bags of these wheat thins and crackers and stuff, and you could just go in there and sample every single one of them, and it's crazy. I don't know how they make any money.
If you didn't notice during my engagement party, I didn't eat any popcorn because I was fucking sick of it. Because Bernadette made me go and pick up that popcorn. She just try a few and see which one you like. And by the time I left that store, I was like, fuck popcorn.
Never eating popcorn again. All right, everybody ready?
I'm ready.
We can make a vlog out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Crispy, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. No, hang on. I need 10 more minutes over here. And then we can go. I'm ready.
Are you ready, Brett?
I'll be ready in 10 seconds.
Are you waiting to pass gas?
Okay, let's go. I'm ready. Jesus.
I'm not a fan of the sweet popcorns, though. They have a lot of.
What
You know what the worst kind of popcorn is?
You don't like kettle corn?
Dude, fuck kettle corn. That's what I was gonna say.
Fuck kettle corn?
Hold on a second.
Kettle corn's pretty good.
I actually had some kettle corn earlier today. I like kettle corn. What I'm talking about is at this
Y'all are
popcorn place,
monsters.
they have s'mores popcorn.
Oh,
they have
that's weird,
popcorn
yeah.
drizzled in chocolate, and it's just way too sweet.
No,
for
you're
me.
right. That's.
It's too much.
Kettle corn is the worst,
I
though.
think that's incorrect.
I hate it.
Do you
Anyways,
do you like Caramel corn?
Yeah, I like caramel
Yeah.
corn.
What the fuck? That's sweeter than kettle corn.
But I don't dislike kettle corn because it's sweet. I just like kettle corn because it tastes like poo-poo butt.
Do you know I worked at a movie theater off and on for like
I did know that.
years, and I never ate popcorn.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Why?
Cause man, I was around it all the time, and it was fucking grossed me out.
You didn't take home giant bags of popcorn at the end of the day?
We could, but I never did because fuck popcorn.
Dude, I would have taken it and like sold it at school.
Yeah.
Here's a bag of popcorn for 25 cents. Make some fucking money.
Did you know that we would pop like a whole shit ton of popcorn and fill up bags? So when we opened the next day, we would just dump that into the bins and we'd sell that popcorn.
What?
Yep.
Wouldn't it be
I bet
like
a lot
not
of
fresh anymore?
Thank you for...
It's still kind of fresh, I guess. You throw it in the warmer and it kind of warms it up.
Oh, okay. So never get popcorn first thing.
Correct.
Like, can you
In
make
the
some
morning?
fresh popcorn?
Correct.
Who goes to the movies in the morning?
You've never been to the movies in the morning?
Stupid little kids.
Like, maybe twice in my life.
Really? I used to go in
Well,
the
you
morning
get
all the
cheap.
time.
I mean,
Matinee.
yeah.
and then-
you get
Yeah, matinee to me is like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
I guess so.
Because what does matinee start at 6?
But dude, that's why when I was
Or
in
end at
college,
6?
I would always go in the middle of the day because all the kids were still in school, and you go at like noon, and there's like nobody there. I probably saw at least 20 to 30 movies when I was in community college at the theater where I was one or maybe one of 2 people in the theater. And it was glorious.
That's the best.
It was
Yeah.
glorious.
When I saw The Matrix in a dollar theater for the first time, I went by myself and I was the only person in the theater.
Really?
Because everybody had already seen The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
People would shut about The Matrix. I hadn't seen The Matrix. And when I
I-
finally went to see The Matrix, I think, I gotta go see this fucking movie.
I saw
And no one
Dragon
was
Ball
there.
Origins for the first time in a dollar.
See, that
theater.
makes more sense though.
But no, I told you
An
the-
opening night.
The first time.
Wait, did you say for the first time?
Yeah,
As in you've seen it more than once?
Oh,
I've seen it twice.
oh my god.
It's horrible the second time too.
Yeah.
I saw Memoirs of a Geisha, and while I was in college, and it was the only one in the theater, and the movie had just started, and a really big guy walked in and sat right next to
Yeah,
me.
you've,
And he was
I've
like,
told this story multiple times, but
Probably.
it's always good.
and he just leans over. He's like, "You want some popcorn?"
I didn't know it was Memoirs of a Geisha.
And I was like, "No, thank you."
That's a peculiar one.
I walked into a movie theater and I,
I think I've seen that.
saw a pretty woman. I was all by myself, and this big man came and sat next to me.
And he just opened a jewelry
It was
box.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
All right, video games or news. What's in the news?
Oh,
Evolution Studios got shut down by Sony.
No.
Yep.
can we
Makers-
stop talking about studios getting shut down?
Makers
It's
of
making me sad.
MotorStorm, which is a series,
Motorstorm's a good game.
Yeah.
Good games.
and most recently Drive Club, which had a really rocky launch. Supposedly, that game had some really good support since launch, but Sony shut them down. And what sucks is a couple of years ago they shut down Sony Liverpool, makers of the Wipeout franchise, and it seems like the arcade racer is just dead. When's the last time we seen a Burnout game? You know, EA is always shuttering studios that make fucking arcade racers. No one cares about arcade racers anymore.
I guess they just don't sell anymore.
Well, I mean, Mario Kart sells.
Well, that's the thing. Is it's
But I don't. I think that's a split
it's a
audience.
different
Like that's
demographic for one thing. You know, most any child or parent can have fun playing with each other when playing Mario Kart. Playing something like Forza is a little different.
Yeah. But I'm serious. Like, it's like, don't make one of these games. Like, remember, what's the studio that made Project Gotham? Like, their last game before they got shut down was like Blur.
Yeah.
oh,
which was
Bizarre
a-
Creations.
Bizarre Creations, you know.
Dude, they also made a James Bond game,
Yeah, I
which is
know.
one of those ones that I like.
Also, the developer that made Split Second, which was a pretty interesting arcade racer, they got shut down like shortly after that game came out. It seems like people don't buy arcade racers anymore. What sucks is like I was really bummed out with that Evolution wasn't doing a new MotorStorm game for the PS4. They were instead doing fucking Drive Club,
Yeah.
which never seemed
Well, maybe it's
interesting,
because
and now
they
they
keep-
don't exist anymore.
Maybe it's because I feel like maybe would those sell better if they were sold via like like a digital store, like exclusively as a digital store. You know, because they're still trying to sell them as $60 products, and I feel
it
like
definitely cuts on the cost of the packaging of the game. And then if they marketed it and sold it as like a $40,
I just feel
download, I
like
think it would do much better.
with like what is commonly referred to as AAA games nowadays, as far as like what people expect when they spend $60 on a game, I feel like there's been a growing gap between what they expect from a $60
sure.
game and a arcade racer. Like
But,
maybe people don't feel okay spending $60 on an arcade racer anymore.
But like maybe the best version of Wipeout that you can play was the one that was downloadable for the PS3, like Wipeout HD and then Wipeout HD with the Fury expansion.
Yeah.
was like the best version of Wipeout, and that was like reasonably priced, and I think it was moderately successful too, but wasn't enough to keep Sony from shutting down Liverpool. Sony Liverpool.
I feel like-
so.
That's so weird when it seems like all the big racers today like are those like really focused single player or like online only experiences. Like there
Yeah.
not really that many
How about
common.
that new Need for Speed?
Yeah, there aren't that many like big racing titles that you can go buy for like the PS4, the Xbox One that you can do split screen with somebody.
Just Need for Speed, yeah. Or I don't even know if that has the split screen.
I don't know if Need for Speed does. I know like most of them haven't though. Mm-hmm. It's maybe the new one.
Burnout needs to come
But yeah,
back.
it's fucking weird.
Burnout was
man.
so good.
I'll
Burnout was
second
fun.
that.
Here's some other unsettling news. Also Sony related. It seems like Sony has abandoned the publishing rights for Rime. Remember Rime?
Oh yeah.
That-
Oh, the puzzling.
Yeah,
I like that
the-
game. It looked good.
Where he was like turning a crank and turning from day to
We
night.
really
It-
never
it was-
saw
it
that
was
game in
kinda
action. We just
Waker
saw a couple of.
Rime is the game from Tequila Works. It looked a lot like Eco.
Eco meets Wind Waker.
So, regardless of how you look at it, Tequila Works got the rights back from Sony. Sony, like,
But that's a
we
really
don't
bad
we don't
sign.
know. I mean, we don't know the circumstances necessarily behind what prompted this decision. But either way, the rights to publishing are out of Sony's court. Tequila Works has the rights to it. I'm guessing they're going to be shopping it around. But when you think about it, like why would Sony want to get like Rime is like right up Sony's alley? Like why would
because
they
maybe
abandon?
the game
Like,
fucking sucked.
I mean that's yes.
Like
it-
the
it-
Where
first
does
time
that
this.
stop Sony?
It is a
before?
possibility.
I mean, the first time this game got announced, I was like, okay, the trailer looks nice. We don't really know what this is, but it is from a developer that hasn't had too many hits. Like their most well-known game was Deadlight, and that was kind of a stinker in some,
but
some
At least-
respects.
I mean, the question is, is this still a game they're going to be pursuing, or is this like on the verge of being canceled?
I mean, so the funny thing is, Tequila Works just recently announced, like in the last couple of days since this announcement, that they're doing an HD version of Deadlight for current gen consoles, or an HHD, a re-release,
Yeah.
which is a sign that maybe they're trying to bring in a little funds to maybe finish Rime. Because when I see like a game that was already out on a HD console and PC stuff get like a re-release, that seems like a quick cash grab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Capcom does that shit all the time. And like the re-release of Resident Evil 6, like that needs to happen. So I'd say maybe
That is the weirdest fucking thing, by the way.
I'd say we should probably be a little suspect or concerned
Well,
about
I was already
Rime.
concerned just because we haven't seen or heard anything of this game in years.
Yeah.
They showed this like the first or second or third E3 I ever went to, and then never saw it again. Every year, I'm like, this is the year they're gonna show Rime. At this point, it almost feels more elusive than The Last Guardian.
Don't go crazy.
I mean, not as high profile.
I
mean, it's
remember
not
though
Team
when
Eco,
Rime
but-
was announced, they're like, fucking Last Guardian's never coming out, so we're gonna settle for this. And now this is like vaporware too. So
Yeah,
funny how these things work.
it is. Nolan,
What's up?
what do you got?
Punch Club is a game I played when it first came out.
Yep.
A fun game. I enjoyed my time with it. Lots of frustrations, but still a lot of fun. I got an email from the developer of the game the other day, from Tiny Build. I don't know if it's a developer, publisher at least.
Publisher. Yeah.
It sold 300,000 copies.
It's not bad.
Been pirated 1.6 million times.
Oh my god!
1.6 million times.
Well, at least a lot of people have played the game.
yeah.
For free?
Yeah, pirated on PC, Mac, and Linux, 1.1 million, 500,000 pirated copies on mobile.
Good.
Because they didn't release it on mobile. I was looking at some of the stats that he was posting. 42% of the people who pirated it are from Brazil.
Let's call out those
It's
people.
a large percentage.
46% of the people who bought it
Are in Brazil.
Germany.
Interesting.
Actually, 18% though from Brazil. So still a large number of people in Brazil bought it. I think.
What is it about that game that has
like-
attracted
So basically,
pirates?
what you're saying is like, if I did the math correctly, about 19% of the copies out there were purchased legitimately.
Hold on, yeah, he has that information. He just wrote this really detailed article about pirating versus exactly. 19% bought the game, 81% pirated it.
Jesus
I bet that's not that
That's
uncommon.
terrible.
And it probably isn't, to be honest. This is just, it's a developer who has the ability to check that easily. And, it's kind of a smaller thing, so it's easier for them to track. And they, out of curiosity, they did.
Motherfucker.
This Punch Club was like the Cart Life fighting game,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
What is it about that game that attracted pirates?
I don't know. I assume a lot of them saw the Twitch Plays Punch Club. And they really liked that idea, but they didn't want to pay, though. I don't remember how much the game was, like $15.
Attracted people who liked the game but didn't want to pay
Jesus
for it.
Christ.
Yep.
Come on, people.
That's a shame.
Yep.
Crispy?
Okay, so we may have already talked about this. I can't remember.
No, we
But
didn't.
We didn't talk
didn't.
about this, but it seems that Sony is working on a new iteration of the PlayStation 4. Everyone is kind of tentatively calling it PlayStation 4.5. The biggest additions to this hardware upgrade are going to include 4K video output, why? And supposedly increased processor power to handle PlayStation VR. So PlayStation VR is coming out in October. That means we could be seeing this within the next year.
This is bad news, guys.
Is this
all this shit is culminating. You have Nintendo. We're gonna talk about Nintendo.
We will.
tonight.
Yeah, we will.
You have the Phil
Xbox.
Spencer saying this. Now this shit. I'm not ready for new shit. Stop it.
Do you remember?
Slow down.
Do you remember when Sony was super big on, the life cycle of their systems?
Yeah.
The PS2 went on for 10 years, and the PS3 was like, it's still technically supported. This is not. They're not getting rid of support. They're just selling these add-ons, which I'm hoping won't be the case of something like, I don't think they would, but like the 3DS. How when Nintendo launched 3DS game, or the new 3DS games had stuff that wasn't compatible with the previous 3DS. And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, or to an extent it doesn't happen, that kind of ruins some things, like where they will have games available for PlayStation 4.5 that you can't play properly on PlayStation
specifically,
4.
I mean, they will.
Not even. But
specifically, probably a lot of this VR stuff that's coming out.
more importantly, the VR stuff is a separate part of that conversation, because I do believe that the new PS4, if it's true, is just going to have the tech that's in like a breakaway box if you buy PlayStation
You think
VR
you're
for the
not going to
current.
need the processor box that the VR headset
Well, that's
comes
what he's
with?
talking about.
Yeah.
He's saying that they're going to sell a box that you're going to
Right.
need.
Yeah.
But he's
If
saying
you
if
have
they
an
do like a
older
new PS4, they'll probably just build that
Probably
in.
build that in.
Dude, but what if they don't? What if you still need the headset and the processor box, and they just make it so that it's only compatible for whatever this new PlayStation 4 is?
That's not. I mean, they're already taking pre-orders, so there's no way it can only be for
Wait.
a new PlayStation.
Oh, you had pre-orders for the VR.
right.
What I
Those
do
just opened up this week.
What I do believe is that we're gonna have this like mid cross-gen game. Mid-season cross-gen games. I don't believe that they're gonna make games, with the exception of maybe VR, like only for this new PS4, if this is true. But I believe that they might like optimize games for this new
Oh,
PS4,
kinda like,
and that like we just get like the shittier versions if you have the old
Kind of
PS4.
like the new Hyrule Warriors for 3DS.
Sure.
Apparently, if you're playing it on anything that isn't a new 3DS XL, it's like
That's exactly
a
what I'm
huge
talking
piece
about.
of shit. Yeah.
That's exactly
Exactly.
what I'm talking about. Where they'll still release the game, but
Yeah.
it runs like it's like just poorly out.
That's a fucking bummer,
Yeah.
man. Like, it's just taking a dump on people. I mean, this is why, like, the argument for, like, consoles over, like, PCs is a strong one. If they take that away, they're just being assholes.
Right.
what came first here as far as, because I feel like Sony said this almost as immediately after
It wasn't long
Microsoft,
after
'cause
Microsoft made their
Microsoft's statement was almost in reaction to all of the vitriol they've been getting for the Xbox One not being as powerful as the PS4 and not selling as well and all that stuff. And it's almost like they're almost like they were doing it out of necessity. And then PS4 is almost like when Sony came out and said this, it's almost, or when the rumors started floating around about PS4, it's kind of like, so are they doing this because now Microsoft is doing it and now it's okay?
To that regard, I don't think they had to have been working on it for longer than that if they're already ready to announce.
To be clear, from what I understand, this is all super. This is all still super speculative. This is in the rumor stages. A lot of this is coming from interviews with the Netflix CEO, who has said that Sony promised them that they were going to have a new hardware iteration out within the next year. There was one other source too that was like another outside of the industry source that had said that they had been told by Sony that this was coming up. But as far as I understand, there hasn't been any word on the Sony front about whether or not there's any credence to this.
Yeah, so correct. There's not been any official
But, there's been a lot of rumors surrounding all this kinds of stuff. So I bet some of this shit's going to happen somewhere.
Maybe
where there's smoke,
wind.
there's fire.
Maybe they'll catch wind and it will be like the Dying Light augment your pre-order. Or they'll be like, shit, maybe this was a bad idea.
I mean, I feel like ever since that
Xbox
one E3 where Sony was like, when it was like totally good guy Sony, bad guy Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like Sony. I feel like Sony. Somebody high up at Sony has got to have, their finger on the pulse. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Nintendo was the one that put out the pulse reading device for the Wii U.
They didn't put that out.
They were going to.
Yeah.
And then they pumped the brakes because they were like, this is
pump the brakes on that. Slow your roll. All right. But I feel like somebody over at Sony, for them to have reacted to Microsoft that way, it almost feels like, somebody over there knows what's going on. Somebody over there knows has a better feel for what their consumers want and what they're willing to put up with. And I feel like this would be a completely contradictory to what, they've kind of established themselves as the good guy Sony. This would be shooting themselves in the foot. Microsoft shot themselves in the foot several times over as if they have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Sony just had to do nothing. They would have just been golden.
I mean, yeah, but they did. That's true.
It seems kind of weird because they've already done a very slight kind of PlayStation 4.2 kind of redo so far.
Well, and they always do that with the consoles.
Yeah,
they'll always
any PlayStation 4 that you're buying new today is a little different than the ones that came out at launch.
Correct. They're always improving hardware. They're always improving the software. They're always, from down to the DualShock 4 with the shitty rubber that the original ones came with. It's the same thing if you look at the PS3s. How many iterations of the PS3 were there throughout the console's life? 7, 8?
Well, I mean, this is going to be more like a PS2 or PS3.
4 main
I mean, when you think about it, this is nothing new. PS2, PS3 both had slim versions.
But the way they're talking about this stuff, though, is
it's not even that. It's smaller things, using different types of CPUs, because maybe the ones they previously used turns out had shitty life cycles. They didn't last as long, so they upgrade that. And even though you're paying the same price, or maybe even a little bit less, a couple of years later, for actually a superior console. The newer PS4s run much better and much quieter than the ones that originally were released a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
they're to an extent better consoles, but I'm not going to go out and buy a new PS4.
This is probably a dumb question. Anybody in here planning on getting any kind of VR?
At launch,
I'm not a millionaire.
No. Yeah, no.
I mean, the only one that seems easy and affordable for what I have is the PlayStation one.
Yeah,
but am I going to be able to hook? I mean, how am I going to watch my VR porn?
Right now, you can.
How am I going to watch my VR porn? With a Sony one.
Right
is
now,
it only going to be supported by Oculus?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, it'll be on everything.
Sure,
but
you can download it to your PS4. You can just put it on a USB drive and plug it in.
Nah, that's not. I need to get that thing working on a PC.
Then you probably want Oculus or the Vive or whatever.
But my PC can't run one of the Oculus and the Vive are substantially more powerful than the Sony one.
They are.
Yeah.
Because you need a super PC to run.
I was really impressed with the PlayStation VR at PAX last year.
But the thing is, what's the longest you played it?
I played it for about 10 minutes.
Dude, after a while, that shit gets like.
It's a little heavy on your
See,
head.
Like the minimum requirements for a Oculus, I believe, are a 970 for NVIDIA.
I mean,
TI or not?
I don't know.
this is what I'm
That's
waiting
minimum.
for. Because I would love to have VR. I'm waiting to see, because for me, I just want to see if they're going to start going in the direction of like using the VR as like an alternative to HD displays. Like if I can just wear the headset and have that be my display
And honestly,
and look around but still use my controller,
to an extent,
that's what I want.
That's what a lot of
That's one of the reasons that the headsets are so expensive, is because they have extremely powerful displays.
Yeah.
It's to a point where you could go out and you could buy a VR, or you could buy like a really fucking nice,
TV?
4K. No, not even. Monitors are far superior than TVs when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
Especially PC wise. But yeah, like a 24-inch 4K. 120 hertz refresh rate monitor it is pretty much just as expensive. They can be upwards of $600-$700 for really nice monitors like that. And it's kind of the debate of which one do you want to spend your money on. VR has its limitations, but I mean,
I am usually an early adopter when it comes to hardware, but
that's
for
an
VR,
expensive ass
I feel
hardware.
like-
for
yeah.
VR, I am.
For what this is, it might be better just to wait. Another interesting aside to the story, apparently Sony also said that they will not certify any VR games for their platform that cannot maintain a consistent 60 frames per second.
Well, I think that's just for like public health reasons.
That's
because
possible.
it can fuck up people's vision.
Yeah,
Well,
not fuck it, but just make people sick.
Yeah.
They don't want
think
they don't
it's
want a
really-
fucking virtual boy on their hands.
Yeah.
They definitely want to.
If it like
If the frame rate's bad, like it'll absolutely fuck you up. Like you'll
if
get
it's
nauseous.
like below 60, it'll fuck you.
It's
up.
not
pretty
so much
sure-
that below 60 so much as fluctuating.
Yeah.
That
below.
that in of itself makes
Yeah.
me really worried that this is going to be a really like the library is going to be small for a while.
Probably. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of indie games. You're not going to see a whole lot of big stuff.
Yeah.
Remember those games? Remember the games that Nolan had on his phone that we were playing for 10 minutes at a time?
Yeah.
Imagine being in that world for like an hour or 2 hours. No. You'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
You just die.
You'd be totally dead. And slightly unrelated. And this is Nintendo has apparently denied these rumors. But there was a rumor today floating around that by the end of 2016, Nintendo will have ceased production of the Wii U.
Well,
That is strictly rumor, and Nintendo does appear to be
Apparently
denying
they
this.
just
Nintendo
came
did
out
not.
denying it.
Nintendo did not deny it. They denied that they denied. What is the quote they said? They denied that the report came from them.
Oh,
They're not saying whether or not it's true. They're just saying we didn't say that.
If it's true,
Chris Davis
Like-
is gonna confirm for us, but
if it's true, fuck the Wii U. Like, do you think there is a chance that this new Zelda game might not come to the
Dude,
Wii U?
I've been saying this since day one. I hated when they announced the Wii U. I thought it was dumb that they were doing another gimmicky, underpowered console. And then once again, it's going to have a shorter lifespan than even the Wii.
The first tech demo they showed
Somebody on Twitter
for
pointed
the
out-
Wii U, before it was ever a Wii U, before they showed the pad, before anything, was a Zelda tech demo.
Yeah, that's what they always fucking show.
shorter than the Vita, if this is true as well.
Jesus Christ.
But hey, I don't know. Maybe sometimes when things go wrong, it's just best to wipe your hands clean of it and try again. And maybe this is Nintendo doing that. I know it sucks, but maybe this is their way of saying, okay, we tried something with the Wii U, we flat out weren't successful. Now let's completely separate ourselves from this.
Yeah, Chris Davis confirmed that Nintendo is not denying it; they're denying that it came from them.
Oh, so that's basically confirming that it's true.
We didn't say that. We didn't say that.
We didn't say that, but somebody else did.
And I'm still hoping and praying that the NX is a equally powerful or more powerful. Than
That's such a
current
sad thing to hope for, though,
and
right?
it is. No, it is. I really hope that Nintendo learns that gimmicks can only take them so far. They need to have a console that is powerful enough that have third-party developers want to create, want to spend the time creating games for them. I'm hoping and praying to God.
Did y'all see the controller concept?
That's not real.
I didn't see that, but I'm sure
It looked like a
sure.
rear view mirror.
Day one, if they release a console, I will buy this day one. If they release a powerful console with a beautiful looking
Look at that.
Super Mario 64 style game, I will buy that.
That can't be real. That can't be real.
3D Mario doesn't make them a lot of money, though, so I don't know.
It's because all the 3D Mario they put out shitty.
Why
that's
does
not
Nintendo
true.
care? Why don't they just like die?
Yeah, Nintendo, just kill yourselves.
Die.
What is wrong?
Hey, listen, you know what? I'd be butthurt if like my Wii U couldn't like play the new Zelda like optimally, but like at the same time, I really want Nintendo to put out a really powerful system. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Please.
But like,
When is
I
Nintendo-
miss the days of where I could look at a brand new Zelda game, or a brand new Metroid game, or a brand new Mario game, and go, "This is the best thing I've ever. This is the best looking thing I've ever seen."
Imagine
You know,
Zelda.
like the first time you saw that Twilight Princess trailer, you were like, "This is the best looking video game ever. How does this look this good?"
Nick,
Metroid Prime back in the day.
Imagine Zelda like if it was like Far Cry Primal.
Yeah,
Like imagine that.
I miss that.
I just came.
I miss when the best games ever could also look the best ever. That doesn't happen anymore. It's always has an asterisk because it comes out for the weaker system.
asterisk.
And that frustrates. That it's sad. You know,
That's
the
not
games,
us after. That's a puckered asshole.
the games still look good, but they're not. The wow factor is kind of killed a little bit.
Pizzazz.
That makes me.
Yeah, definitely.
What a
No
wet
steak,
fart.
no sizzle.
Well,
Damn it.
Well, here's hoping. I wouldn't. I agree, Brett. I would be butthurt. You know, I've only had my Wii U for
My butt would hurt.
a year and a half now. I haven't had it that long, and I've only played 6 games on it, if even.
I will say this,
I've
though.
enjoyed the hell out of the games I played on it. I'll say
Wonderful
that.
101.
I will say this. I didn't really talk about the Twilight Princess HD before. Remember how we were talking about because the developer they gave that to is not have the best track record.
Yeah.
It's a pretty damn good HD.
Yeah. I don't doubt
Remaster.
it. The extra content though is garbage.
Sure.
Garbage.
I agree. I would be butthurt as well. But like you were saying, if they put out a powerful console, I would just be fucking ecstatic because Nintendo finally learned that gimmicks can only take them so far, and if they want to be taken seriously outside of their handhelds, they need to be able to compete.
Yep. So I think we'll find out more at E3
Probably
in June. So
maybe.
It's just so frustrating.
I'd be willing to, if I had to make one bet about E3, is that by the end of E3 we will know what the NX is.
I hope that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
In fact, if they're planning on stopping production by the end of 2016, they better have something to replace it.
Yeah.
Why is it called the NX?
That's
Why-
a code name.
I know it's their code name,
names.
but why is that their code name? What does it mean?
It's like the Revolution. So much better of a name than Wii.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Revolution? Was that what it was called?
Yeah, it's called the
Yeah,
Revolution.
So
Makes
much
me
better
sad.
name than the Wii.
just imagine.
Wii.
Like, imagine if the Nintendo
worst.
console.
What if the console was just called the Next?
the
Nintendo Next.
Imagine if the Wii U was just like a PS4.
Someone clip that out. Just make sure because
It's like really the only thing differentiating the Nintendo console, like the GameCube era. But the GameCube era even then didn't have very good third party support.
Imagine if the Wii U had a larger hard drive than my fucking phone. Yeah. Imagine that.
that's
just-
crazy, Nolan. Let's not. Whoa. Pump the
Nintendo
brakes.
still has the best first party. If it could only figure out third party, it's just fuck.
All right, let's
Anyway, all right. Let's move on. I think it's time for community.
It's the
Time for what?
community.
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 Where's
All
our
right.
song about the community?
All right, is everyone's favorite part of the show? 'Cause it's all about you, the community who we love so much.
One day, I swear to God, one day we're gonna have an actual jingle. Okay.
Cool.
If anybody out there knows how to make a
balls.
jingle,
Jingles.
All right, so first up, we got 2 new patrons.
We do.
2.
Woo!
Christopher L.
Ooh.
Christopher with a K.
Really?
really?
But it's more like, it's like Christopher.
Like F's?
Yeah.
I bet people call
I hope
him
he doesn't
Toph.
go by Topher.
It's,
That'd be the worst.
yeah, he might.
That'd
Maybe he
be-
just goes by Offer.
Is Topher short for Christopher?
Offer.
No, why?
Yes.
Why?
Really?
So like Chris
You just figured that out?
offer?
Topher Grace's real name is Christopher?
Yes.
I had no idea.
No,
I
it was-
never knew
it's-
Topher
You
was
think
short
his
for
parents
Topher Lee.
just named their kid Topher?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Topher is short
wait.
for Topherly.
You know Liam Neeson's real name, right?
Liam?
I don't.
What? William.
Oh.
What?
Is
What?
Liam?
What?
Wait, Liam is a diminutive of William?
Bullshit.
I don't like that.
I call bullshit.
And one new
Fuck you, Nolan.
William?
one new patron besides Christopher, SMG Sterling.
SMG Sterling.
SMG
Became a
Sterling.
patron.
He was in chat
Hopefully
right
he
now.
goes and votes
There he
for the
is.
next game for the Revival Club.
I'm going to post that link in the hip chat tonight.
SMG, go vote.
Yeah.
All right.
vote for Doom.
So first question
Duty.
from our patrons this week. Oh, actually, before I get to that, I wanted to say that our supporter of the month is still Prince of the Universe.
Prince
because it's
of-
still March for another little over a week.
Your Majesty.
And we are going. I'm probably going to play a little bit more of his game that he chose.
Matilda Castilla.
Yep, there you go.
Matilda Castilla.
Sure.
Right? Wait, what is it?
Sure.
That's not it.
Wait, it's Maldita Castilla.
There you go.
Damn it. I wasn't even close.
Do you have to say it like that?
Maldita
Yes, you have to.
Castilla.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Of course
much.
you do. Why would you say it
Keandre
any
was a
other
joke.
way?
Keandre, that was a joke.
You uncultured bastard.
All right. First question from our patrons this week comes from Zerby.
Zerby.
How important is the consistency
Zerby.
of voice acting in an established
Uh-oh.
character?
Not at
Last
all.
week, when answering my question, Nick mentioned playing Blacklist. My issue with the
course.
game is Sam Fisher was no longer voiced by Michael Ironside. I know
God,
there's been
I mean-
characters such as Chris Redfield from Resident Evil series that have changed actors, but they've been close enough for me to enjoy. Do any of you feel this way?
Snake?
And I would like to
It's-
note, before we talk about that, today is the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil.
It is.
That's weird.
It's also the 4-year anniversary of its death.
I think to answer this question, I think it depends on the character we're talking about. Characters like Snake and Sam Fisher, and I will say Batman from the Arkham series. A big part of that character is like the person who's voicing them.
Yeah.
So when you change it up, it's a little jarring.
Things get
Now,
weird.
I will say specifically about Batman, when they had Roger Craig Smith do him for Batman Arkham Origins, I actually liked that. I thought it was pretty good.
Because he's
It's
just
not-
emulating, like.
Well, he's not doing Kevin Conroy.
Oh, he's not.
He's kind of just doing his like normal, like tough guy with an American accent kind of voice, but it worked fine. It was whatever. But yes, like Sam
Snake
Fisher
did not work.
Yeah, Snake didn't work. Sam Fisher in Blacklist or
Technically, it wasn't.
Yeah, Blacklist. I don't. That was
Never
weird.
mind. It's funny this question has come up before, especially because I brought it up a long time ago that I didn't think Sam Fisher was particularly. I mean, but then again, I didn't play a lot. I didn't play a lot of the earlier
Dude, Michael, how do
Splinter
you
Cell
get rid
games.
of Michael Ironside?
Yeah.
I will
I loved Blacklist,
disagree
but
with Keandra that Troy Baker was an awful Joker. I enjoyed his
Troy
Joker.
Baker was awesome as the Joker.
Troy Baker showed up and he did his job.
Yeah.
That I mean,
He know
it's
Mark
probably
Hamill.
not going to be the
To Brad's
remembered
earlier
as the-
comment, I will say that he was trying to do
Troy Baker
a similar Mark Hamill Joker, not the same, but kind of similar style.
He was trying to keep it in the same ballpark. He
Yes.
did add his own little affectations, which were kind of nice. But I mean, that is such a shitty position for him to be in to begin with.
no, definitely.
When you're talking about like voice acted characters, like few of them have the same kind of like passionate like fan base that Mark Hamill's Joker.
we can't have
has,
this
you know?
conversation.
Why?
I think we're having it.
Yeah, it's
I think
already begun.
I think Troy Baker did a fucking phenomenal job.
No,
as
No,
the
he
Joker.
was great, but like
Did a
But like-
phenomenal
but like
job of
literally,
doing an
you-
impersonation.
there is as much reason to be
But-
against that performance just because it wasn't Mark Hamill as anything. I mean,
I know, but
that's
like
where a lot of people
he
are
did
coming
such a good job of doing an impersonation of Mark Hamill's Joker that, except for a very few moments in that game, I couldn't even tell the difference.
No, it was great. But like, this is getting a little off topic. But
Yeah,
if we're
we
talking
have
about
not
that,
even really talked about the first part of the question at all.
Oh, how important is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
this is what we're talking about. It depends. It depends if it's an iconic character who for so long has been the same voice actor, and then all of a sudden they change. Like, what if come Mass Effect Andromeda? It's a new Shepard.
Oh God. Well,
hopefully it's not going to be Shepard at all.
yeah, Shepard's not going to be
the
at all,
point
but-
the point I was trying to make with Joker, I think, kind of applies at large to this issue, in that if it's an established character and you're going to change the voice, I almost feel like doing something completely different, doing something risky, is better
I agree.
than doing
trying to
something like
imitate them. Yeah.
When you
problem with
take like David Hayter's Snake and you replace it with Kiefer Sutherland, that doesn't seem like different or radical. That seems like someone trying to play it safe. That's like, we have a military character. We want somebody who has like a gruff military voice. They're not trying to do anything new or interesting with the character. They're just trying to make it as inoffensive as possible, you know? And that's shitty. The Joker has had a lot of different people play him voice in like movies and television shows and games recently.
They wouldn't change it up for a sequel to an Arkham game because they've already established the Joker in that universe.
I guess, but it's also a prequel. I mean, that gives you some leeway, especially since it's supposed to be like years before the first.
What was
Arkham
the
game.
reasoning behind getting different voice actors for that? Was that just because
it was the cheap game.
But
because I guarantee Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill come much more expensively than Roger
sure,
Craig
but like
Smith
nothing
and
else about
Troy
that.
Baker.
But it's the cheap game, quote unquote. But that game was still
there's
triple
also
A.
probably
It's not about that. It's
They
triple
were
A game.
also-
You saving
I guarantee
money
you they
anywhere,
didn't
still
spend the same
saving
amount
money.
of money on making that game
Yeah.
that they did their other games. There's no fucking way.
I didn't like when they changed the voice actor for Link.
It's like
Good one. Nolan.
it's like Far
Good
Cry.
one.
It's like Far Cry Primal. There's no way they spent nearly as much money making that as they did Far Cry 4.
Well, sure, because no one in that game speaks any existing language.
yeah.
But by the way, the voice acting in that game was fantastic.
All right. Next
Allegedly.
question.
We don't know. What if it's really bad, Caveman? It's like anime fans who are like, it's so much better in Japanese, even though maybe those like voice actors actually suck, but you don't know because they're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
I just know it's emotion.
Their voice.
Next
Emotion.
question from Mr. Green Toast.
Mr. Green Toast.
Are there any video game ports that you prefer over the original game? For example, I prefer the GameCube port of Skies of Arcadia over the Dreamcast or the additional establishment of backstory as well as fixing the high encounter rate. The only downside from the port was the developer had to compress the music in order to fit into a single GameCube disc.
Remake is not a port.
Ocarina of Time port to the 3DS.
There you go. That's a good one.
very good one.
Is without a
Waker.
doubt
Oh
Yeah.
God, Wind Waker HD is
Yeah.
Yeah.
so much better.
pretty much any Zelda re-release since the
They've all
3DS
been pretty great.
has
Yeah.
been pretty fucking
Yeah, for
amazing.
sure.
They've done a good job.
I like Dark Souls 2. I haven't gone back to the last gen version since Scholar of the First Sin came out for PS4.
Yeah. So is that good? I'm planning on because I have it for the PS4.
No, it's
I mean,
really good.
It's pretty good.
That's like a straight up like technical port on a better system. Of course, I mean, there's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they did
Reason to go
add gameplay stuff to it. They did add like new mechanics and shit, but
I'd say like despite some weird technical issues, I think the PSP port of Final Fantasy Tactics is the way to go because of the retranslation, which is
War
really
of the
really good.
Lions.
Yeah, War of the Lions.
That's-
Like the retranslation is not just a rewrite of the script, but it's like a completely different style where now they kind of speak in like
All those
more
cutscenes-
Shakespearean or like.
yeah.
You know, it just fits the tone of that world so much better, and it's a really good script.
All those cutscenes in the game were redone for that too, right?
Well, they added some like actual
Like the animated ones?
animated cutscenes
Those
too,
are
which are
fucking-
Those are great.
Those are really nice.
I also think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of the HD ports of just, last gen games onto PS4 have been pretty successful. Like Tomb Raider, Dishonored, I think those have all been.
I think it's more.
I haven't
Those
played
have
them
been
specifically.
more
cash
than just talking
grabs,
about like ports of like higher quality. I like when like JRPGs get re-releases and they add systems like the ability to speed up combat and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like definitely like improving the game.
What was the original platform for the original Dark Souls? Was
PS3.
it PS3?
Yes.
So is the PC version a port?
Yeah, more or less.
So the PC version of Dark Souls with the Dark Souls fix.
The official, the official release of Dark Souls on PC is not the best.
Yeah,
but
which is why
Dark
that fix
Souls
is required.
Makes the game amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Incredibly different.
When I got that set up for the first time, I booted up Dark because I had booted up the game without the fix.
Yeah.
And then someone told me the fix, installed that shit, booted up. I was
simple.
like, holy
Did
shit.
you install Thanks Obama?
No, I did not install
The
Thanks
Odin
Obama.
Sphere
It's so
port
good.
that's coming out is supposed to be like crazy
Wait, which one?
improved. The Odin Sphere port that's coming out for PS4 is supposed to be crazy improved. And just a special note to the Tactics Ogre for PSP, which is like kind of a in between of a port and a remake in a lot of ways, but it is pretty damn quality.
Sweet.
Chris Davis also said Resident Evil remake.
But that's a remake, not a
That's
port.
a straight up
Okay,
remake.
but Black Mesa, well, that's a remake too.
That's a remake too.
And Metro,
All right.
Metro Review.
He missed the question.
Next question from
Read it.
Burnsy. You've been defeated in an RPG style game. What unique item do you drop?
Oh, that's a good question. I drop a
Unique
turd.
item?
A turd.
Yeah.
They can't use it. It's worth 1 gil.
Oh, God. I'm sure.
Chris Davis says he drops guns, which makes sense.
Just in all caps, guns.
Guns. All the
Chris
guns.
Davis drops guns.
What would you drop? Mega elixir. And you could.
Are we making up items, or are these like if we were like what are
Whatever
we
you
carrying
want.
in our pockets? Like
Whatever you want.
My rare drop is. I'm gonna say summon materia.
I would drop a single blood slide.
That's weird.
Hey, we're going with joke answers, right?
For my
Why
common
my
drop,
answer
for
was
my
weird.
common drop, I would drop some Dr. Pepper.
See?
For my rare drop,
Diet Dr. Pepper.
no. For my rare drop, I would drop an item that maxes out your attack. It's really good, but it is a the thing, like from the Fantastic Four, shaped butt plug. You have to use it.
Or is it shaped like a dildo? It just looks like it's made of orange rocks? Or is it a Ben Grimm / The Thing action figure that you just shoved up your butt?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. My rare drop would be a key to my time machine, but my time machine's invisible, so you have no idea where it is. Fuck.
All right.
Nice.
Next question. Thanks, Burnsy. From Nick the Batman. If you
Yes.
could use a time machine
Yes.
that only went forward and then left you forever in the new time period, how many years into the future would you go?
2.
Why 2?
Well,
Why-
because
y'all aren't
that's just
picking up very-
reasonable.
Sorry.
I
I
just-
just picking up very much.
Can you hear me? Am I here?
Sorry.
I think maybe it's because I was looking off to the side as I was talking
Yeah.
at my phone.
Sorry.
Hmm.
How far in the future? Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared
One
of
day.
the future. Maybe like I would go like maybe a
What
year.
if you go too far?
Dude,
No, you know, at this
Apes
point,
have taken over. the
you know,
have
at
no
this
idea.
point, I would probably go at least 5 years forward.
you have no idea. 5, at least 5.
At least 5.
I feel like 5's like kind
I
of
would
a-
just basically skip the
That's-
next.
for
Or you know what?
someone-
To be safe,
for
let's
someone
go with
who
9
is-
years.
For someone who's never time traveled before, 5 years seems like a really big chunk to bite like your first
Yeah.
time out.
I would go like 20.
Okay,
I
yeah,
feel
let's go
like-
20 years in the future.
Wait,
My
can you
family's
only-
dead. That's great.
Can you only jump once?
Well, I would say
Dark,
bye.
man. It's dark.
I would say bye.
Can you only jump
for you, Nolan.
once and then you're stranded?
That's what it sounds like.
You're left forever in the new time period.
Okay, so you jump one time and you're left forever. Here's what I do.
Well, first I
go-
start up a bank account, a
I
savings
go
account.
all the way forward. I go all the way
What does that
forward
even mean?
until the big crunch.
Oh, okay.
And the universe recedes on itself, and then it expands again, and time resets, and I keep going forward until I end up about like 4 years ago.
Okay.
That is assuming that time is circular.
Yeah, well, yeah. We'll see, I guess.
What is the benefit of going into the future unless it's a significant amount, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would I want to
50
go?
years.
Why would I want to go like 4 years into the future where things are basically the same? It's the end of another
I
presidency.
mean, I kind of like the time period to live in. It's just getting kind of scared
But
right
what if
now.
it gets
so.
better?
I'm like 6.
Dude, at the rate it's
6
going, it's
years
not going to
older
get
than
better.
if
They
Malia?
cure AIDS.
Well, okay. How about
Well, I
this?
don't have AIDS,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm not really
Oh,
that
sorry, I was
invested.
mistaken.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like,
What if you get AIDS?
I think 20 years. It seems like
Oh,
everything is like a good 20-year ebb and flow.
Yeah,
You know,
right?
Like the 80s and 90s are good. Like the 2000s and 2010s have been a little rocky. Like maybe if you jump ahead to
people gonna die though.
40.
People die every day, Brad. You realize this, right?
I'm gonna go.
Someone literally just died.
Just jump the next 8 years. Just like whoever is the next president, just
That's
skip
what
that.
I'm. That's where I was going. That's why I
Yeah.
said at least 9 years because we still got about a year with Obama.
The
left.
shitty thing is, no matter if you go more than 6 months into the future, there's gonna be some studying up that you'll have to do.
Well,
You know?
probably,
Like
yeah.
that kind of stuff. The farther you go, the less you're gonna know what the fuck is going on.
It's true.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go 6 years.
It sucks that you can only go forward because if I had a time machine, I would go back and show people porn way back then.
What?
You know,
How?
way back. I'd go
So Nick would just go.
I go back,
back and start fucking stuff.
You think?
No, I
He's
go-
look,
this is really cool.
No.
People really like this.
No, I'd go back 100 years and just I'd find a way to
You think they didn't have porn 100
Bring a
years ago?
sports almanac or something.
Dude, that's okay. So the
Sports
that
almanac, I'm
show,
going-
that show I've been talking about, 11/22/63. It's about a guy who goes back in time to stop the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
The way he he has to go back 3 years before the assassination and live in the 60s. The way he lives is he brought a notebook of sports results and he just makes bets, and that's how he makes his money to live and
Well,
shit.
that's a complete ripoff
that
of
is
the
exactly what
almanac.
you'd have to do. But you have to be super fucking careful about that because if you all the
You can
all the
fuck
fucking-
everything up.
Dude, well, not only that, but all the fucking bookies he keeps running into, he'll go in and say a 4-1 bet on this fight to end in the 10th round, and he'll drop $800 in 60s cash. He'll win, and then they just come and beat the fuck out of him. They're like, "You fucking cheated us. I don't know how, but you cheated us," and they just fucking almost kill him.
Nice.
And that's happened a couple times.
All right.
No, but I know porn already existed, but I want to show them
The current stuff.
You want to show
Look, they don't
Exactly.
zoom in on the dude's face anymore.
He wants
I
show
bet you
you.
anything they didn't have bumper cam back
wants
then.
to
You know
so
what I mean?
much porn is more than just putting dicks in vaginas.
They are
Like,
underutilizing so many holes. They didn't even
And those
know.
people have no idea.
They didn't know how many holes were usable.
Exactly. Precisely. Now you know what I'm talking about.
Honey is more than just a condiment.
Exactly. Everything is more than just a
All right,
condiment.
next question.
Look what you can do with a grapefruit.
I didn't give my answer.
All right.
I wanted to go 6 years into the future
Okay.
because I'm 6 years older than Malia, and I'd be like,
2020.
"Ain't so fucking easy, is it, bitch?" I wouldn't call her a bitch.
So then you'd be 12 years older than her.
That's not how that works.
No,
guys.
I'd be the same age.
Right?
We'd be the same age. And you're like,
that's right. That's right.
time
You went
machine.
back.
and I'd be like, "Oh, what's wrong?
Right.
Is your back
Time
hurting?
machine.
Is your back hurting? Oh, what's wrong with your knee?"
Well, I just assumed in this case that a time machine was a box
That you just sit in
sat
for 12
and fell
years.
asleep for 6 years.
All right, next question from Michael M. From any game, which video game character do you think would make a terrible roommate?
All of them.
Wait, what?
A
feel like
video
a
game character
character
that would make a
from any
terrible
game?
roommate. I think it would be better if it was a good roommate than a terrible roommate, because I could name hundreds of terrible roommates based on video game characters. Like Ganon would be a terrible roommate.
Ganon would, especially when he transforms into
Kirby.
a giant pig. And
He'd eat everything.
Yeah, that's
Kirby
true.
would eat everything.
That's true. Pikachu couldn't take a bath in the house without being
That'd be
afraid of dying.
awesome to have a Pikachu friend though,
That would be great.
Why?
That would be fantastic.
because you
I
have
think
a
it'd be
Pokemon.
I mean, I could name other Pokemon that I think would be
Pikachu's so
better than
cute.
Pikachu.
I would rather have a Vaporeon. Little water dog.
Wait, no, it's the ones you don't want to have.
Yeah, we're talking about things.
Also,
you don't
that's not a
want.
real Pokemon.
A,
Stop
Va-
it.
a Vaporeon?
A Squirtle.
You know,
A
who'd be-
Vaporeon.
dude, no, okay, Sarah Kerrigan would be a terrible roommate. She's
Sure.
got those giant fucking blade wings that just be knocking shit off walls and
That's true.
shelves
That's
everywhere.
true.
Like, I don't have a big apartment, Sarah. You can't just like.
Could you imagine Bayonetta as a roommate?
Oh, I
Hair
can.
everywhere.
Dude, I bet she's.
Can you
like,
imagine the
drains.
sink?
the
I
drains
bet-
would constantly be clogged.
I bet she's fucking just like gross at home.
Probably.
Like, she probably doesn't clean up or anything.
Yep.
She has such a devil may care attitude.
There's like crumbs in her hair from like crackers she's been eating.
Dude, yeah. Gross.
Yep. Yep.
I bet Dante from Devil May Cry is also a terrible roommate.
Oh, God, yeah. Terrible.
Opening cutscene at 3, he just smashes up his own place.
Looks like a fucking slob, and he's.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine Sora as a
He
roommate?
never wears a shirt.
Giant fucking shoes everywhere. Giant shoes
and gloves.
and gloves?
He's not Mickey. Did Sora wear?
He doesn't wear gloves.
I think he wears gloves, but they're like regular.
They're
size
like
gloves.
they're like the.
He had like Mickey gloves.
No.
Just Mickey.
Oh man.
Oh boy. All right. Next.
So
question.
we're sticking with bad roommates.
Yeah.
Bowser.
Bowser would be a bad
Bowser
roommate.
Good roommates.
Catherine.
I'm gonna go with Laura from Street Fighter V, maybe.
Look around the room.
Oh.
Cosmos would be good. She's a robot.
Geralt would be a horrible roommate. He would just be bringing in severed heads all day.
Dude, you know who'd be a good roommate?
Jennifer.
Batman. He's gone every night.
That's
sleeps
true.
out all day.
That's true.
Never had shit.
You'd never see him, but he'd always be buying cool shit for the apartment.
Dude, yeah. I would probably be his roommate, actually.
Cortana would be a great roommate. She just lives inside
She's
that little thing.
Corporeal.
She just sits there on your desk, and you can hit a little button. She pops up. You can ask her your questions,
That's
then hit
not
the
a
button and
roommate.
send her away.
That's like a PDA.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's an appliance.
That is a good point. Anyways,
There's a large number of girls from Senran Kagura. No, I'm just kidding. All right, next question.
oh my god,
From SMG Sterling, one of our new patrons.
our new patrons.
Whoa.
Chris Davis has trapped the four of you inside the podcast room in a Saw-style death trap. A gun is placed on the table in front of you. One of you must shoot someone else in the room, or everyone dies. Who shoots who?
Are we assuming we can't just knock out the window and get out?
Yes.
I shoot Chris Davis through
That
the door.
is basically made of cardboard.
I pull down Joey Fatone and just beat the crap out.
Wait, there's one gun with one bullet, and one of us has to
One of
shoot
us has to die.
one of the other person.
Otherwise, everyone else dies.
So 3 of us get out?
Yeah.
I shoot myself because I'm
No, you
older
wouldn't.
and y'all are younger, and y'all have more
You
life
would
to
shoot
live.
Crispy, and you know
You
it.
are not that generous.
Brad
Why
would
me?
shoot Crispy.
Why me?
I know, right? Why Crispy, Brad?
wouldn't shoot
Why would you
Crispy.
shoot Crispy?
I would
Why?
find a real way out. You know, no one actually shoots anyone. That's not how these movies work.
We could shoot.
I would find a way out.
Actually,
The door
they do
handle
very
and-
often actually go through with it.
Yeah.
I would saw my own foot
Remember
off.
how Saw ended?
Yep.
Yeah, the first one kind of blew my mind.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think they really had to do it, right?
Yeah, he didn't have to.
No, he didn't have to. The
He
key
just-
was inside the
He got
bathtub.
really impatient.
I'm just glad no one said they shoot me. Looks like I'm good.
Well,
I mean, if I had to choose one person.
if
Yeah.
we were going to shoot you, we probably wouldn't be like advertising.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my cards like
Close to my chest.
yeah. I don't want y'all to know.
All right, next
when it
question.
comes down to
Final
it.
question from Raphael. You're all turtles from TMNT. Which turtle do you think you would be? As a bonus, throw Chris Davis into the mix, who is Master Splinter, and each of... Oh, Chris Davis is
I'm
apparently
Donatello.
Master Splinter?
No, he just said throw Chris Davis, and then out of the 5 of you, which one would be
Who's
Master Splinter?
and
Oh,
then
and then who is each of the turtles?
Brad's Master Splinter.
I'm Donatello. I don't think Chris
No,
Davis
wait,
would be
bro.
Splinter though. I think he would be like
Yeah, dig deep. How many TMNT characters
Baxter
do you know?
Stockman.
Well, he did say the 4 turtles and Splinter.
That was a good pull, Brad.
Baxter Stockman.
That was a good pull. He is a bad guy.
Yeah.
We all know Chris Davis is a bad guy.
I'd like to think I would be Leonardo.
yeah, of course you
Dude,
would.
no,
of
I
course
would-
you would.
I would
Of
definitely
course,
be,
Nolan's
I would
Leonardo.
definitely be Donatello. I
No.
would be Donatello.
Bullshit. You're like
you're
Michelangelo.
no, you're like a fucking Raphael dickhole.
What?
Yeah.
I am
Nick's,
Donatello.
I think Nick's,
Michelangelo.
I think
He's
Nick's
like
more
the-
of a Raphael.
What?
I think Nick's more of a Raphael than a Michelangelo.
What which version of Raphael are we
I would
talking
not
about?
Tell me the
define-
truth, Nolan. Is it the music?
I would not define Nick as a party dude.
Well, it depends. Are you talking about
Wait, who in
about
this room would you
cartoon
consider a party
series
dude?
Raphael?
Michelangelo
Maybe
was
Crispy.
a party
Are you talking about
dude.
2D?
I mean, if we were to stack up monthly amount of partying, I'd probably party more than.
That's because you have like 4 roommates.
Well,
Why are people calling me
And you
Raphael? Raphael's not just a sarcastic asshole. He also has like temper problems, and he's like moody, and he like goes off and like
doesn't
on his
sound-
own.
Oh, so
like
Brad's Raphael
anybody-
then, yeah.
well, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound
What are
like
you
anybody in
talking
this room.
about?
I don't know who I would be then.
April. Nick is April.
Maybe one of the Ninja Turtles like turds.
Nick would be Casey Jones.
I'm okay with that.
Casey Jones wasn't an option.
But he'd be like the Stephen Amell, not Brooklyn accent version of Casey Jones.
I'm Casey Jones. Look at me.
Hi, I'm Casey Jones. I sound exactly like Arrow from Arrow.
I'm okay with this. I'll take it.
All right. Well, that's all the questions from tonight. Thanks, all. There were some really good questions. Tonight had a really good batch of questions. I really liked
You know
them.
what else? Where the fuck is Miklopa?
Yeah, is he dead?
Oh my god, he didn't send us a
Every
question.
single
What
week.
the
Someone check out Miklopa.
Miklopa.
Someone sent out a flare for Miklopa.
Does anybody know where McLopa
Miklopa.
lives?
So if listening to the bombcast like
Let's
an
just
asshole.
I was listening to the bombcast. earlier.
Miklopa.
Miklopa.
They had
What
a
about
really,
Piocht?
They had a really great
No-
conversation
no
about
Piocht.
looking
No
assholes this
Piocht?
week.
Piocht.
Neither of
No,
them.
don't say their name. They don't deserve
Oh, okay,
it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nobody heard that. I
What
guess.
the fuck?
All right.
Just those two would get.
So, Crispy, do you want to do a round of?
Do you guys want to do a round of Geek Out? I had some ideas for how to develop this in the future, but
Wait,
we won't get into that.
Just do one round.
do
Let's
one
do
quick
two
round?
Quick
What?
rounds.
No, one round.
Okay, guys. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
2.
7.
It was 7. So
I win. All right.
Everyone
Nolan.
always picks 7.
Nolan. No one. Give me 2 barefoot video game characters.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Should be way easier than I
Bare feet.
I will do 3.
3.
I can do 4.
pass.
Really? Not even gonna try.
Not even gonna try.
I will do 5.
There is okay. 5 from Nolan.
I'm going to go for 6.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna go for 6.
Stop chatting answers.
I
Hey,
applaud your
Chris
bravery.
Davis, cover up chat for this.
Stop looking over here. Stop it.
I'm just looking off in the distance. That's not helping me. You said 6?
The distance.
Boom.
The
do 7.
distance.
I'll do 8.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
8.
I'm just doing it because people say I don't participate enough. I'm going to look at these
ABF.
posters. All right.
That's
Don't wear
bullshit.
shoes. All right. Ooh. Ken and Ryu. Street Fighter.
That's
That's
Two.
what's 1.
Pikachu.
You're only supposed to do 1 from each franchise.
But you made up this rule.
No, it's if it's individual characters, it's fine. If we're doing like series
Yeah.
that feature something, that's when it's 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then this is easy.
Ken and Ryu. How many do I have to do?
8.
Pikachu. I mean, right? Can I just start naming Pokemon?
Yeah,
just
that's what
wanna
I
name
say. If you can just
Pokemon?
name Pokemon, I could do like 150.
Bowser, Kirby. 3 more.
I'm pretty sure like Machamp
Donkey
and
Kong.
Machop,
Those are different Pokemon.
but they wear shoes, so it wouldn't be 150.
No. Hitmonchan wears
Donkey
shoes.
Kong. Spyro the Dragon.
This motherfucker.
Crash Bandicoot. Wait, he might wear shoes.
He
Let's
does.
go with. Does he? I guess he does.
Yes.
Let's go with Clank. I don't think he wears shoes. He's a robot.
Doesn't Link and Twilight Princess not wear shoes?
No,
No, he does.
Link always wears shoes. That'd be weird if he was running around in bare feet. I wouldn't be cool with that. I would not be comfortable
Maybe there
with
was like
that.
a scene. I don't
The
know.
dog from Resident Evil. Who cares?
Okay. How about this one, Brad?
Sure.
Since you're so smart.
But I think Kirby might wear shoes.
Give me
Kirby doesn't.
Kirby. Does.
I think he kinda
Yeah, he wears
does.
those red sneakers, doesn't he? Oh no, I'm thinking of Sonic.
Samus doesn't wear shoes. She wears a suit.
Yeah,
With-
but they
with
have
shoes.
shoes. She's not barefoot.
Hey Brad, don't be a bitch.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is barefoot characters, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Sean from Street Fighter 3. He's the black
One of these
Kenneroo.
was actually named Street Fighter characters.
Blanca.
Threw it away.
Thank you.
Blanca. Blanca.
Okay.
Laura from Street Fighter 5 doesn't wear shoes.
You've named 8. Okay. Now, Brad, we'll start with you. Give me 4 video games in which time travel is possible.
4 video games in which time travel is. I could do 4.
I'll do 5. Fuck it.
I know.
Where it's possible?
I know one of them.
In terms of story or gameplay,
It says where time travel is possible. We'll say in terms of story or mechanics / gameplay.
Pass.
what are we at?
passes.
5?
Yeah,
So
you have to do
gotta
6.
Stop looking around.
You stop. You're looking around my head as you say stop looking around.
There aren't that many.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Time travel is possible.
Yes.
Do you want to go for this one?
That's up to you.
Like if I, well, I mean, there's no like
Fine,
downside.
I'll go.
You guys can't.
That sounds like a
can't fucking collude.
That
over
sounds like a
there.
pass to me. Did no one already pass?
Time travel is possible. I can do 6.
I'll do 7.
I pass.
All right, Nick.
You can't
7
do,
video
You can't
games.
do 7.
Time travel is possible.
Bioshock Infinite.
Okay, that's.
What? You are.
Let's just keep moving. We'll decide that one later. Just keep going.
That's 1.
Just keep going. That's not really
Go,
one,
Nick,
but
go.
Keep going. Just keep going. That's
Where's
that's
chat? We can't see
interdimensional
chat. We
travel.
wanna
The
see
point was
chat.
we don't want to
Okay.
see chat because
Oh wait, we don't want to see chat. Never mind.
Fuck you.
Okay, it's not really time.
Singularity.
Okay.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's fucking possible. What are you doing? That's distracting me. Final Fantasy
I mean, I can think of
10. There's time travel in Final Fantasy 10.
Time travels in 10.
Kind
of.
It's more like dreaming or something, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you fucking turd.
Okay.
Fucking A.
You need 4 more.
Oh, Ocarina of Time.
Sure.
Actually, it needs 5. Now it needs 4 more.
I would have said Link to the Past. Oh wait, I
You
guess that's
idiot.
That's dimension travel, not time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The ocarina is it
God damn it. I always have this problem.
of not naming 2 more. 3 more.
Oh,
3 more.
Was
Was he giving
Assassin's
hints?
Creed?
Sure.
That's not time travel.
It's not.
That's not. That is even more tenuous than Bioshock. That's not time travel at all. It's a computer simulation. It's not time travel.
I don't think you're even getting close on this one, Nick.
You've got 3.
You need
How
3
about-
more. No, he's got 4.
He's got 3.
Wait, what are you taking
He's
away?
got four.
I'm taking away Bioshock.
No!
That is not time travel. It's alternate realities.
This game is
That's
bullshit.
completely different. It's
But
alternate
you do
realities.
travel within those
Oh,
alternate
okay,
realities.
fine. You got 4. Can you give me 3 more?
You got a big poster of one at home, Nick.
Did that save you?
You
Did
got-
Bioshock really
you got a
save
lot
you,
of-
Nick?
You got a big poster of it at home, Nick.
Well, don't give him hints.
I have a lot of posters at home.
A big one. Bigger than that.
Oh, God. You know, and I just had one too before you.
Oh, wait, no, I got that one.
It's like, that's hanging in my room. What am I talking about?
That is a pretty obvious one. Like, that's probably the definitive time travel game.
Singular. He already said singular.
No.
Go fuck yourself. Fucking A. I don't know. I shouldn't have done this.
Well,
Yeah, that I
There's
passed.
a couple
on that one.
high-profile ones from the last few years that you're missing.
I know.
But it's hard to remember.
I can't play this game. I always blank like this. I'll think of like
this segment for people that listen to the podcast is just probably people screaming.
These
at the top
screaming
of their
answers,
lungs.
yeah. They're
How could
screaming
you
at their device.
possibly forget
Blank.
Chrono Trigger? That one doesn't count. You didn't say it.
Yeah, you can't do
Chrono Cross.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
You need 2 more.
Fuck.
There's a lot of RPGs
yeah.
where you travel through time.
I know.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Dude.
Fire Emblem? Is that
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
one?
Yeah, name which one.
Fates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really?
I've not gotten that far. You probably should have said Awakening.
Dude, yeah. Yeah.
I'm assuming there's time travel since you do. You can fuck.
What can you fuck, Brad?
Like, so
Yeah.
this is an aside. I'll let you keep thinking. So, like, I wanted to be a lesbian, right?
Who doesn't?
So
Oh, God, I wish we had a
only
soundboard.
other
So many
character
time travel
who
stories
will
start
go,
this way.
the only character who will go lesbian is one of the children of one of the people that are in your party
That's bad, Brad.
that come from the future. It's also like a boy. It's like a young, like a boy's kid that I have to bone. With
have to.
lesbian
What are
sex.
you talking about?
I think we
It's
need to call
Fire Emblem.
someone.
The kids come from the future.
Okay, but he's a boy's kid, but she is a girl, lesbian.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I give up. I'm done.
there's no age
Okay.
difference.
Dude, if you
there's no
had
age
remembered-
issues if they're from the future, right?
That's not how that
That's
works.
not how that works.
This is like the moral gray area of time travel.
What I'm saying, if she's legal but from the future,
right.
it's fair game, right?
Alan
That's
Wake
fair
does not
game.
have time travel.
If she's biologically over 18, then it's fair game.
How does Onimusha 3 have time travel?
But what if it
Wait,
gets-
you're right. Onimusha 3 does have time
Yeah,
travel.
Time Splitters is a
Time
good one.
shift?
You forgot about Braid? You forgot about
Dude,
Super Time Force?
I'm done. I can't do. I can't.
What
I can't
about-
do this anymore.
What about
They're hard.
fucking Alan Wake Time Cop that's about
You
to come
forgot
out?
about Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego?
What's that called?
Where in time?
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history.
Not getting Chrono Trigger is kind of a big one too.
Dude, it's hard when you're in
Dude,
the
I'm
fucking
telling you,
moment.
this is why I can't play Geek Out because
Dark Cloud 2?
I literally can't. My brain shuts the fuck down
Dude,
when I'm
mine
on.
too. When everyone's talking, and yeah, it's hard.
Anyways,
I'm
all
not- only ever named games for me.
I am not good at this game.
right, moving on. Let's wrap up with the 4-player minute. My fuck you of the week goes to Geek Out. No, it goes to Crispy for trying to take Bioshock
Symphony of the
Infinite.
Night?
Trying to take Bioshock Infinite away, even though he already knew I was gonna fail.
Is freezing time travel?
Is freezing time travel?
This seems like a crispy question that he wants to
Ooh.
answer.
Wait, in what regard? What are we talking about?
Does freezing time count as time travel?
No, it counts as time manipulation.
Yeah, but give me a specific example.
In Symphony of the Night, where you stop time, or a Castlevania game where you stop time. I mean, you're still moving. Everything else is freezing. I'd say you are traveling into the past. Or wait,
You could make a case. You could
traveling
make
into
a
the
case.
future. That you're traveling into the future, right? A little bit.
If he can make a case for that.
You are dilating time.
If he can make a case for that, you can definitely make a case for fucking Bioshock Infinite.
Your case
Go
is tenuous at best.
Fuck
Nicholas.
Prince of
yourself.
Persia.
Prince of Persia.
God damn it! Okay,
Sands of Time.
everybody needs to
That
shut
was
their mouth.
such an easy question, Nick. God.
I already hate myself. Okay, let's continue.
My stomach's making weird noises. We need to end this.
We need to speed this up. 4-player minute. Brad, go.
My hype is for
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
Mount and Blade 2. Finally watched the video of it looks so pretty. It looks like Mount and Blade but pretty. And my sweat is my PC because there's no way I can run that game like it needs to be run with like hundreds of dudes on the field. I am worried. I'm nervous. I will probably need to build a new PC sometime in the near future. I don't know how I can make that happen, but I'm going to start thinking about it. My thank you goes to, I don't know. My thank you goes to myself for being so damn cool.
Jesus.
What?
That is a stretch.
Is that not a proper thank you? Oh, thank you for the multiple people who did not buy me Stardew Valley. They're like, hey, Brad, you want to play Stardew Valley? And I've been like, no. Because I cannot have that game in my life. Thank you, people.
Gonna take a hard.
Thank
pass.
you for it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. And my fuck you goes to I'm gonna give my fuck you this week to another Street Fighter character. Fuck you, Laura. Fuck you for being so low tier. I watched that tournament on over the weekend, final round. Watched a lot of Street Fighter matches. Like Laura got no representation. No one's playing
Your
her.
waifu is low tier,
Yeah, man.
bro. That's
Bumming me out.
That sucks, bro.
Bumming me out.
Sorry to hear that.
Fuck you, Laura. Fuck you, Capcom, for not making her better. She's a brand new character. She should have been awesome. Damn it.
Nolan.
My 4-player minute starts now. My hype is for more Senran Kagura. I'm going to play some this Friday when I stream, and I'm excited for it. I had a lot of fun last time I played it. Some people on the internet think it's weird. They just need to calm the fuck down. It's a video game. Whatever. My sweat goes to my graphics card. Like, some of the games coming out, like, my card's, like, barely making the minimum. And I'm like, I really want to buy a new graphics card, but the one I want's really expensive. And Chris Davis was telling me that NVIDIA is about to announce some new cards. So hopefully that will drop the price on the current ones. That's what I'm really... But like, I think I might because my graphics card isn't overclocked. And I've been thinking about overclocking it to maybe just eke out a little bit more performance from it. What?
No, I'm going to go for it.
My fuck you goes to...
What do you have, by the way?
660 Ti. My fuck you goes to Nintendo for all this fucking shit with the Wii U. Like, I mean, fuck you for doing this. If hopefully you've learned your lesson past 2 console generations.
No, the problem is they learned a lesson. Well, they thought they learned a lesson from the Wii.
Yeah.
Totally.
The
put too much
Wii was
faith in
fucking
that.
blind luck. It was a fucking lightning striking.
Well, they appealed to a mass audience who would never ever buy
I agree.
an additional console.
I agree.
Like you've sold them the Wii, they're done.
Yeah, that's the problem. So fuck you, Nintendo. Hopefully you get it right this time. And if you don't, fuck you even harder. And then my thank you goes to everyone who showed up to my Factions multiplayer night this Saturday. It was a whole fucking lot of fun. Good times, lots of fun. Factions is a lot of fun. Thank you for playing.
Cool.
Okay, guess it's my turn. My hype is actually still for No Man's Sky, believe it or not. I'm still quite hyped for that game.
No.
You're not as hyped as you used to be, though, right?
I mean, I've been doing this for like half a year now. Okay, it ebbs and flows, but yes, once the game gets closer, I will be fucking 6 to midnight on that game.
I was just fucking with you. You didn't have to
Yeah?
admit that.
Yeah,
Not 6 to like 11.
that's weird. I don't think my clock goes to 11. But
I'm pretty sure it's 6 after 11 right now. So
oh shit. My sweat goes to Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. It's looking rough out there. It's looking rough.
yep.
I mean, we'll see. We're gonna go watch
Spoilers, they fight.
We're gonna go.
God damn it, Brad.
We're gonna go watch it Thursday night. See what's up.
We'll
I have seen some people say positive.
We'll do a
things about
popcorn
it,
cast.
but it-
Not Thursday night.
Last time I
No.
checked, it was at 40% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Some Green
it's
Lantern
39.
territory.
No, yeah.
Shit, that's bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like.
Hey, you know, so was
I've got
Sucker
thoughts
Punch.
on that, but okay. Like,
Well, that's for different
And
reasons.
you know,
Sucker Punch is terrible.
it's so
I did not regret
misogynistic.
spending money on watching that
You
movie.
enjoyed watching the ladies.
Of course I did.
That's the reason it's bad.
It's got Wonder Woman in it.
I mean, a lot of movie reviewers.
Oh, God.
A lot of movie reviewers look at comic book movies with like this kind of higher elevation of disdain.
I think when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes,
and if it doesn't fit in a very specific box of like, oh well, this is really like superfluous and like kind of funny, then it does well. If they try to do anything like halfway serious with
Does
it,
that Wonder Woman
it's a little-
actress suck?
Gal
Is
Gal
she like a
Gadot?
bad actress?
I don't know.
I don't know. Everything I've heard has said that she's one of the few like saving graces.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah. So we'll see.
we'll find out on Thursday.
Okay, so that was hype sweat. My fuck you for
Music
the week
hits
goes
me.
to Sony with all this PlayStation 4.5 shit. Like, I really don't
Yeah.
want to have to buy another console this soon into the fucking cycle.
You're not gonna buy a new console. You're gonna buy an upgrade for your console.
What even came out? Like Infamous and
You
Bloodborne?
just
what
need,
the fuck
you
is
just
wrong
need a
with
new
these consoles?
catalytic converter for your PS4.
Yeah, catalytic converter. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then my thank you is actually going to be another hype, and it's actually for Overwatch. I'm getting kind of hyped about that game.
It looks pretty good.
I've been looking at a lot of shit on it, watching new trailers.
I'm sorry. Overwatch is a title that I feel like that game's come out like 10 times in the past 10 years because there's been so many games that are over something.
Similar, yeah.
Overstrike, Overwatch.
And you can't think of any more.
No, but like,
I can't think of it. All right, give me 4 game titles with the word "over" in the title.
I can do this.
fuck you.
I can do 5.
Of course you can,
Okay.
Brad.
Yeah. So well, yeah. Okay.
All right. Is that it? Is that your 4-player?
That's it. That's my.
All right. My fuck you of the week, I'm going to give to Assault and Sanctuary, specifically the Mad Alchemist. Fuck that boss. At the end of that boss fight, I could barely make out what the hell was happening on screen. Hopefully, hopefully there's not many bosses that suffer from that problem, but man, fuck that fight. My thank you of the week goes to Chris Davis for securing us 4 copies of The Division for a penny each.
Nice.
Woo! I really hope they work.
Oh, that should be my thank you.
My sweat.
Thanks, Chris Davis.
My sweat goes to Daredevil Season 3. Not really a sweat, it's also more of a thank you. I really enjoyed Daredevil Season 2. I'm looking forward to maybe recording another popcorn cast with these guys after they've all finished the season, talking about it. But man, Season 2, if you've watched it already, Season 2 left...
It's season 2.
Is there
Yeah.
a lot of ninjas?
Ninjas exist. Yep.
Two ninjas.
Man, ninjas. I am so ready for season 3, and it's such a shitty thing. Like, fuck Netflix, man. Fuck Netflix, because I literally, we watched about 6 episodes,
5 episodes
on
night,
Friday night. Y'all left around 11:30 midnight or something like that. I watched 5 more episodes that night.
Jesus.
Finished next night. I watched the last 3 episodes on Saturday, and now I know I have to wait for at least a year, probably.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna say. My sweat is, will I make it to season 3, man? Fuck. My hype goes to Metroid. Super Metroid, to be specific. Saturday, we'll be playing that from the Mini Project M. It's been on my list. It's been on my list of games to play for a very long time. And I'm just going to knock it out on Saturday. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Oh, yeah, and my other hype goes to Jason Bourne. Because, I'm still excited for that movie. Yeah.
I think that's our show.
Thank you, everybody, if you watch us live. We appreciate you sticking around with us here at 4pp.tv. Of course, 4playernetwork.com is the website, and you can watch us broadcast games every single night over at 4pp.tv as well.
Yeah.
We'll be back next Tuesday. We'll be talking probably more Salt and Sanctuary. Is there anything else coming out before next Tuesday? Anything?
When is next Tuesday?
When is Dark Souls 3 actually coming out?
The 12th of April.
Okay, so it's in April. Okay.
Enter the Gungeon's coming out.
The 5th of April.
I do want to play
There's some
Into the
stuff
Gungeon.
still coming out
that's
this month.
2 weeks.
That's 2
Quantum
weeks.
Break is coming out early April too, right?
The 12th of April,
Yeah.
maybe.
So,
I'm excited about
man. So join us next Tuesday night for yet another podcast. And until then, we'll see you on the feed, I guess.
Yeah.
that.
Peace out.
Peace out.
See you in your dreams.